Look, man, let me shut this music off real quick. What happens is we're usually just having a good time in life, and I sit there and I'm like, you know what? Jay Mills!
What the fuck?
Stop missing the flights, Jay. So we were supposed to have Jay Mills up here, and it's still going to happen. I don't want to tell you guys the date. We're just going to surprise you because we'll be surprised ourselves. Even Jay Mills will be surprised when it goes down. But shout out to Jay Mills. I know it's not something that he intentionally did. Right. He's out in L.A. He's living his life. He's doing his thing. And then, we couldn't make it happen. But that doesn't mean that we don't got a special guest in the building. And I'll get back to you in a second about that. What I want to do and what Chris wants to do is to thank you.
Cheer.
Thank you for all the success that we've been having, the views that you've been giving us, the comments that you deliver every day, the shit talk that you talk. You know what I'm saying? Like
all of it.
Thank you for that 10,000. You know what I mean? That was one of those things for us where like, man, if we get to 10,000 subscribers, and I'll be honest with you, I thought that 10,000 subscribers was going to be something that, it'll take us a couple weeks. Until it started. YouTube had these rules on monetization. You need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. You know what I mean? I'm over here sitting like piece of cake until the first show went on, and it was like you have 0.02 watch hours. Yep. And I'm like, it's going to be like that? 4,000? It meant 4,000? You know what I mean? That's a long time.
What's the threshold for monetization?
1,000 subscribers. And 4,000 watch hours.
4,000 watch hours in a year span.
Yep. We did 4,000 watch hours yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And for that, I got all y'all to thank, for all the new subscribers, for all the returning subscribers.
Hey.
I'm not really one to say one outweighs the other. I'm appreciative of every individual that watches us. You know what I mean? And I really, really, really want to thank you. And in this episode, this is really a thank you and then a conversation that is going to, come after that. Chris, what do you got to say, man?
Man, something that caught me recently talking to Smack. He said, it's been a long time coming. And what struck me as interesting is just, it really hasn't. Like, yeah, we've been working, we've been hustling. We did a lot in a short amount of time, but to say it's been a long time coming is like, not really though. Like the fact that we're here right now this quick, talking to the people that we're talking, having the conversations that we're having, it's something to be proud about. It's pretty fucking dope.
Absolutely.
I got my sunglasses on right now. You know what I'm saying? This is like,
yeah, he's bougie.
You know what I'm saying?
I had Gio calling me bougie earlier, but you're the bougie one. Look at you.
Hey, I didn't pull out the Versace joint. That was the showstopper right there.
Okay.
That was the showstopper, 100%.
It's fun though, yeah. On the same note that you could say it wasn't that long, it was.
Oh, I'm not, downplaying the amount of fucking work we put in. We both business owners, full-time jobs, like, getting here twice, sometimes 3 times a week, staying here till 2, 3 in the morning, chopping it up with your favorite rappers. It looks like fun, but the shit costs something. You know what I'm saying? There's an opportunity cost for everything. I could also be putting more time towards my business, which some will easily say that I could have been doing, but I know what I'm doing here. I know that what we're doing is serving a purpose here. Seeing the community that we were just talking about in the comments and people going back and forth about this line and that line and these questions and these guests and all this intricate stuff. I just logged into the YouTube studio. And now I really see an in-depth
Congratulations,
look.
by the way, finally.
Hey, we here.
You just logged in.
Just logged into the YouTube studio, man. And it's just crazy. I'm kind of mind blown. I don't know that it's really caught up to me, but you asking me that question now, obviously it's making me think about it. But only when friends are like, so how does it feel? I'm like, this is a regular day. I wake up, go to bed, I go to work, go to the gym, go train jiu-jitsu. It's just another day, and there's a lot more to go. How foolish would I be to say, oh, yeah, we made it. We on top right now. Nah, it's just begun.
And it's crazy that you say that because there are people that view us and say that we have made it. We're here now. Yeah. We're here.
I appreciate it, but
I feel that way too. But on that same note, we wouldn't be getting the interviews we've been getting if we weren't in the scene. We're in the scene. We head out and we link up with these people in the clubs, and it's you mentioned it perfectly, or you said it perfectly the other day. We're not being treated like some peasants or anything like that. It's like we're part of the team. Every time we walk in, it's not like, well, here you go, you're gonna be that. Like we got our own shit going, you know. We got our own money. It's like, okay, well, you do this, we're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? And we'll sit there, we'll link up, and we'll have a great time. It's what we're doing, and with that, we're building, and we're building pieces to the team. And with that said, we got a new member of the team.
Hello.
My guy NovaVision. It's somebody that I've been watching for a long time. All the work that he puts in. We had, we had Ballistic Man up here. Yep. We've had Benny up here, and a lot of the videos that you see are shot by this man himself. If you ain't being shot by NovaVision, you're being shot by somebody else. Stupid. What's good, Nova? How you doing, man?
I'm the newest member of the Danza team.
Yeah.
Walking in the ring.
Yeah. Nah, man, I'm happy to be here, man. It's an honor to be a part of what y'all got going on. And yeah, man, I'm fresh off the plane. Literally just got off the Uber. He's like, "You're getting in the chair tonight." I'm like, "Damn,
Showtime."
yeah, so we here, man. We here. I'm happy to be here.
And it really is what it is. You know what I'm saying? When we work with people, it's about to change their lives, and it's something that is huge for me. We're creating something that, like you said, it's residual income.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and we're in that facet of it. We're in the beginning stages.
very.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's going to be a process where there's no money, there's no profit coming in from this yet.
Yeah.
But inevitably, when that starts moving in, it's something that I could say, look, I'm gonna change your life. 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 And we're gonna be going out there and doing that for just because of the people we are.
Yeah.
You know, especially with what you're doing, Chris, and what I'm doing. That's something that we're just gonna want to do.
Hell
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And not only did we add you to the team officially this past week, we also added Fred Money to the team.
Shout out to Fred.
As our booking agent, because let me tell you something, this man works.
Let's get
You know
it.
what I mean? If you see the
Shout
people
out
that
Fred.
tomorrow we got Adrian Broner coming up here.
Fire.
Huge.
That's
Huge.
crazy.
Fuck with us. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I had a few
Fuck
people hit
with
me
us.
up. They say, I'm watching that one. I haven't watched it yet. I'm watching that one.
But not only that, the crazy thing is it doesn't end after that.
Right.
There's some people that I can't even mention
Yeah,
that it's not
come on.
ending after that. There's people that will sit there and watch and be like, no fucking way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I told a couple people, I was like, we got this person coming up here. We got this person coming up here. I'm supposed to be flying out here to do this with this person.
Yeah.
I'm over here having conversations with the biggest.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? And they're like, okay, well, send me this and send me that. And then, then we'll figure out a date and for that to go on. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, man.
You know, I could speak for all of us on the Danza Project team to say we're all grateful
I'm grateful.
for everything that
Definitely.
goes on.
I mean, it also is a testament of the work that we've been putting in.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't want to slight the amount of work that goes into putting up a production like this. And you can call it a production.
It
what I'm
absolutely
saying?
is a production. Just look around.
Yo, there's something going on here. And what I was saying is the people that have been coming up, they have to do their due diligence, right? You can't just have a bad look out there, just do some rinky-dink situation. Like, if you respect yourself, you respect your career and whatever you've built in your career path, you want to vet the Danza Project before you come up here and make sure you're not talking to a bunch of idiots or wasting your time or talking to people that don't even really flatter your career or what you're promoting right now. So for them to even want to come up here and share a room with us, they have to be appreciative of what's going on and see the vision, see the growth.
Absolutely.
See the quality.
You know what I think a lot of people think too? I think a lot of people think when they watch the podcast that what's happening is our voices pop up, right? And it flips the screen.
What do you mean?
Like when we start speaking, the screen flips.
Oh, right.
They don't realize that my guy Landon is back there putting in work.
Landon
Like
back
y'all
there
don't
on
see
the
that
boards.
Landon legitimately, right? This is how you keep a production clean. He legitimately walked over to Chris's camera while Chris was talking, changed the lighting on him, switched the camera angle through his phone while he has access to just switch the camera. Like this isn't just, I speak camera on me, you speak camera on you. This is really actually a real live production. We got to, you know what I mean? Like some people got 5 people doing what just Landon is doing right now.
And I'm gonna get some.
You know what I mean?
I got some footage I'm gonna get, so y'all be able to see, man. Y'all be able to see how Landon works and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy how this shit is going on. Most people just don't have any idea. And by the way, if y'all want your production to look similar to what we got over here, Landon's looking for clients.
Money talks, though.
You know what I'm saying? It definitely ain't gonna be cheap, but it's gonna be the right price for you. And Landon, am I mistaken that you got packages you could work with anybody?
Hello.
And you don't have to be in the physical location. You could do all of it remote. Most of it remote until it comes to doing to make it look this good. You got to be there in the physical form. So they got to buy those flights, right?
Dope Tech Digital, baby.
Yeah, I feel like Landon doesn't push it enough. I'm gonna be honest with you, because
we're gonna change that.
It's some good shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's some good shit. If you were pushing your product the same, people are gonna be like, God damn it, what is going on over there? But it is, and look, I'm a humble dude. I know I talk a lot of shit. At the end of the day, a lot of people have this perception of me that isn't true. There's a lot of haters out there. You know what we noticed with having Smack up here is something, because, you know, obviously we knew that it would be a dope interview. We didn't know that he rarely interviews.
Rare.
You know what I'm saying? So like
Rare.
we had an idea. We're like, okay, well, we looked and we didn't see that many interviews, but we just couldn't find it because it was such a lot of people, oh, well, URL TV paid you and you're a part of them. You've been compromised. Like, come on, bro. What the fuck is going on with all that weird
crazy
shit? It's some weird shit. I'm not going to lie.
Well, the battle raps, the battle rap scene, the fans, man, they go hard.
They go hard.
They're battle rappers.
Yeah.
They're battle fans.
Even the fans and
fucking battle toads.
And they see someone like Smack up in here, a new podcast. Yeah. They're like, yo, there's definitely some fuck shit going on.
Yeah, you guys don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Right. All we did was go out and have a few drinks with him.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Shout outs to my guy DNA, because DNA is also somebody that's facilitated a couple of the podcasts that we've had. Yeah. And DNA goes, yo, I gotta we're going out tonight. I'm gonna link up with Smack. I gotta link y'all too.
Conceded.
This was Tuesday.
The rest is history.
On Thursday, Smack was here. But we're compromised. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on.
I actually
as a fill-in too. It wasn't that we just got lucky and planned it 2 days later, nothing like that.
Last second.
Within the hours. You know what I'm saying? Like it divine, I don't know what you want to call it. Like it just kind of happened, literally.
And they got to get used to us. And I'm okay with that. Like the people that are watching us got to understand that although we have these individuals up here, it's because I'm a fan of who they are.
Word.
You're a fan of who they are. We're not sitting here and bullshitting you guys like we're students of the battle rap industry. We know every battle. We know everything. I don't know all that much about battle rap besides what I know. You know, Chris doesn't know about battle rap aside from what he knows.
And the good folks I've met in recent months on the podcast.
Right.
I've got, which is another level of crazy because I'm getting to meet these legends firsthand. In the flesh, my first time. And then he's telling me, yeah, this is the guy who that legendary battle with this time, and they were outside and all this stuff, all this crazy historic shit that's going on, and I'm just catching wave of it. I get to meet these people right here, right now.
That's crazy.
It blows my mind.
I know after the Smack episode, some of the things that he talked on when I went home back to Buffalo, it was so dope to go back and I grew up on that. Like I seen that, you know what I mean? But it was so dope to go back and rewatch that stuff with the backstory that Smack gave us on a lot of that stuff, man. And it's just fire.
He told some good stories.
I just sit there like pinch myself like, yo, bro, was I really there? Like,
what's cool about all this early success, because if we're going by the regular metrics, we're not supposed to have such a great character in person and figure on our podcast so early, right?
Yeah.
But what I equated to, I was thinking about this earlier, it's like we're that hot independent rapper, and everybody else who signed a contract is looking at us like,
I like that.
But we out here making a name for ourselves,
like
and what comes with that, being an independent rapper, is you're not chained to the label. You're not chained to the status quo of what everybody expects for you to do.
Freedom.
So when people are looking at our episode like, you guys had Smack up there and you didn't ask him about all this battle rap controversy, it's like, no, because we didn't bring him there for that. This is not a battle rap podcast specifically. We can talk to anybody and everybody.
And you want to respect the guest.
And we're going to respect the guests, absolutely. That's who we bring people here to highlight them and what they do, what they're pushing, what they're promoting, what they stand for.
Right.
And I want to ask you how you came up with that and why you put that flag on your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why do you rock for the team that you rocking for? Tell us about that.
You killed that episode, by the way.
Oh, bless, man.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you, man.
did. He did.
Danza told me that too.
Yeah, he did.
I was just curious, man.
He took the boat on that one, and you did your thing, man.
I know Chris. Chris knows me on the level he knows me. I know Chris on the level I know him.
Right.
And so when we have these conversations, there's a lot of times where I'm like, Chris, if you would have asked him this, you would have asked him this, like you asked me. And he's like, I got it. He's like, I'm letting you ask the questions and you steer. And I'm like, I feel like, this being named the Danza Project is something I created and I brought you here because I feel like you're ill at what you do.
Right.
And people get to see more and more of that, and I get to enjoy it a little bit more and more too. Like I really hope that one day I'm not here. And I'm watching the production from the corner of the room,
right? And
I'm seeing it go on, and I could enjoy it that way. And I've had those moments like where I run out to take a piss because this is live; it's not edited,
right?
A lot of people. Before I get into that, I'll finish this story because I do murder mookas sometimes. But like it's a dope production that I want to see continue being built, and we all have something to offer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That's what makes you a great leader.
I appreciate that.
That's a fact.
Appreciate that. Respect right there. I like that. That's why you have people sitting at the chairs right there, man. What y'all say about me? But, we're not here for the controversy. The people that are coming here, it's home base.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we literally want to sit down and enjoy the conversation. We don't want to sit there and piss them off and get them out of their element where the conversation seems like, okay, now we're going to have an argument, right? And we're also live. Right. So there's moments like people watch us and they're like, oh, well, let the guests speak and this and that. You know what happens in every podcast? That where 3 people are speaking at once or 2 people are speaking at once. But guess what? They're not live. Yeah. So when people see that stream, that episode, it looks like it's seamless. Nothing wrong happened.
Cleaned up.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we're not doing that. We're giving you guys the raw, unfiltered look. The only part we ever do cut out is in the beginning if we play music. That gives us the copyright issues. And in the intermissions where we know that it's a long gap, that people are sitting there live, that they're waiting, you know what I mean? They're having a drink or they're smoking. They're waiting for us to come back. So we drop the freestyle and things of that nature. But we're not, you know what I mean? We're not perfect.
Right.
And we're real. So, like, what do you expect us to be talking and, somebody's trying to make a point, another person's trying to make a point, but I don't want to let go of my point because I don't want to forget it, and they don't want to let go of theirs, and then we're both talking at the same time, and then boom, you get the story. If we just dropped the clip and we just dropped the video and we edited, everything will seem seamless to you, but we want this to be raw. We want this to be unfiltered. We want this to be unedited, and does a day come that, Revolt says, we're going to give you a $300 million deal. Holla at me. But does that day come where they're like, we got to take out these certain parts? I'm sure they're going to try to bring it up, but guess what? Because of the way that we operate, because we're independent, it's going to be something that I'm going to fight against. You know what I mean? It's going to be something like, no, I don't want to change anything up.
Well,
like this is who we are and what we do.
This is the formula that you've been rocking with from the beginning, and this is the formula which made it what it is. So you got to stand 10 toes. And
I want the guest, the talent, the artist, the athlete, whoever it is that's up here, I want them to know that it's live. I want them to know that there's no take backs because I want them to mean what the fuck they say. Right. I don't want the rehearsed questions. How many times somebody has an album and people ask them the same run-of-the-mill fucking questions? They have these preloaded responses, these media-trained responses. If we're having a legitimate, organic 2 to 3 hour conversation, that whole media training is going to go away. After a while, you're going to start to be yourself.
Yep.
And that's what people love to see.
Yep.
When I ask Smack a question and he starts sitting up his chair and his shoulders come up and he start gritting his teeth with that New York. Let me tell y'all something. That's not pre-rehearsed.
Yeah.
That's somebody who's expressing themselves and they really feel how they feel. And I want that to come through on the camera. That's what I want people to see.
And it feels good to know that these people are willing to have these conversations with us. You know what I'm saying?
And that's something, too, I wonder if people even know about or even think about, because it's something that I do. Like, I don't know if y'all think we're in the green room chopping it up for hours and we're going over questions and, hey, we're going to go and plotting all this stuff. Sometimes just how you just got off the plane, got here, hopped out, now we on camera. That's how a lot of these guests are.
Right.
You don't really get to do no warm-up. You're watching us meet them and get to know each other little by little.
Live.
So only after 15, some people 10 minutes, some people right out the gate, but 15, 20 minutes, only then do they start to take another sip, hit the joint, sit in their chair a little different. And they put the phone away and they say, okay, I'm here with the boys right now. They really lock in. Yeah. And that's why I think the long form version is dope. The formula that we got going right now is been interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And you know how many times we have people up here speaking about long form that it's a premeditated 45-minute conversation. You know, okay, we're going to be there. We're going to do it for 45 minutes, and then we got this to do. Yeah. And I always let them know in advance. I'm like, you're going to say that, but once you sit and you start vibing out, you're going to want to talk more.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because we're not asking you a question that you're going to answer, and we're going to let it go. We're going to be like, oh, really? Yeah. That's how you did it? Yeah. So you mean to tell me that when you actually, that's how you got the money?
Right.
What happened when you got the money? Did you just buy? Did you buy anything else? You know what I mean? Why did you pick that car? Because that car is fire. You know what I mean? And it got a couple different interiors. I seen the interior on that one all pink. Why is it pink? Oh, well, you got to understand it's pink because, you know what I mean? I'm from that. You know, I'm a pimp. You know what I mean? Talk about sauce. You know what I mean? But it's like that. So, and shout out to all the people that are watching too. I want to make this episode special for y'all too. If y'all want to call in, Landon, throw up something on there. I know you're the gifted one. That's another thing. When you see us commenting on there back and forth, sometimes I'll be hopping on my phone commenting. But Landon is literally sitting there while he's doing all the camera work. I'm giving Landon too much props today. Nah, but while he's doing the camera work, he's sitting there talking to you guys too, and throwing stuff up in the chat room so you could be in contact with us. So if any of y'all want to call in, y'all could ask Landon and he could send you. I mean, you're gonna probably have to get us on IG. Landon will be able to send you the number on IG. You'll be able to call in, and you'll be able to have a conversation with us as well. This is something that we want to be able to do for the people, especially now since we got the memberships. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The memberships for sure.
There's quite a few folks in there too, man. I was surprised first time I went to go look.
But don't throw the phone number in the chat. Let the people get it individually from you on IG, because if you throw it in the chat, you know what I mean? This is just
I like those
going to be
too.
Annoying. You know, yeah, but
I'm
okay with it. But the thing is they're going to end up calling and, you know what I mean? And then we're going to have all the battle rap haters. You son of a bitch, I'm coming to kill you and da-da-da. But, yo, it's not us. Okay, that's not who we are. We didn't want to do that in the first place. I know you watched it and you're saying, oh, these motherfuckers don't know shit about, they're not well-versed. This isn't journalism. This isn't journalism.
I know one thing is Danza never claimed it was journalism.
Nah.
This is original. This is vibing.
But it kind of falls into the category because we're having conversations with high clientele people. How do you say? Top tier people, however you say. So it kind of does fall into the form of journalism, but we are not journalists.
Right.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
But I also don't call myself a podcaster. I don't tell myself I'm a YouTuber.
Right.
I don't want to be put in those boxes because we're not any of those one single things.
Right.
Don't hold me to those certain standards because I might go fucking decided to go skydiving for a career. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different ways to fucking bake a cake, right? Like, don't put me in a box, man.
Hell yeah.
Got a lot of dope shit going on here.
Hell yeah.
And we want to continue doing dope shit. Right. How could we continue doing dope shit if we are compromising ourselves and saying, like, this whole thing about Smack? You know, I bet you guys won't interview Easy. Look, there's nothing that we had in the interview that was against Easy.
Right.
Why wouldn't we want to interview Easy? Why? Because there's an ongoing issue between him and Smack. That has nothing to do with us. We didn't sit there at Smack, I can't believe the way Easy's talking to you. No, we had a conversation with Smack about the things that Smack wanted to discuss.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We have a conversation with J.R. Ryder and Fred Money and Benny and Sauce and Murder Mook. I'm about to see Bougie the names about and Big K and Hollow the Don and Arsenal and Charlie Clips and Conceited and let me keep going down and Bonnie. You know what I mean? We had a conversation, huh? Cassidy. We had a conversation with these people about disaster, about the things that they wanted to speak on, and all we did when they were speaking is we started asking them about certain things that was leading up to their conversation.
Right.
They mentioned something and it's like, oh, tell us about that. Right. You know what I mean? And we're sitting here consuming or, digesting this information.
Yeah, the same way that the viewers are.
Yeah.
In real time.
And we're fans too, just like you.
Right.
We're not, like, if I were to call myself a journalist, you know what I mean? I would kind of switch it up, right? I wouldn't be able to look at people and talk to people in the correct manner that I should be speaking to them. You know what I mean? I'm here. We're sitting in the room. We're having a glass. We're toasting up. Yo, enjoy Miami. It's beautiful out here. Yeah. I hope you have a great time. Maybe we'll link up later, go step out and have a couple drinks and kick it, because that happens a lot.
I was about to say, what I'm saying? That happens. They be fucking with y'all, and then let's go. You know what I mean?
Chris and I had no idea where this would go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Word. It's just about, like, at first it's like, oh, we're going to have a good time. You know how many issues that has brought into me in my personal life? Like, oh, why are you going here? Why are you going there? Why are you going there? It's like,
I know how that goes.
I have an opportunity to sit down and discuss life with this person.
Perfect example. If I'm not mistaken, our first big celebrity when Benzino came through, and what that equated to. Through linking with Benzino and doing a great job with the interview and him fucking with us as people, we did the celebrity boxing event, cornered him in the ring, on TV, pay-per-view.
That's crazy.
In the corner, telling him, hey, you got to duck. When he throws the right, you got to dip the left. And you got to,
like, you got a background in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu,
we had no idea what we were doing. It was bad.
Back there making them hit ones and twos with the pads in the green room.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Next to all
I wish I was there filming the BTS of that.
It was dope.
Yo, let me tell you something. We had absolutely no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
It was
so crazy.
Just showing, like, what building these relationships and having these conversations, what it can actually lead to. Because the Benzino episode brought another high list celebrity. And that episode, having Sauce up here, that put eyes to another celebrity or another person. And with that, we've just been basically climbing the ranks and getting different talent. And we're not limiting ourselves to artists again. We've also gotten the eyes of a lot of athletes, which is dope. And we've had fashion moguls up here. We've had motivational speakers and stock traders and comedians. And
that's what makes this podcast unique.
I think
it's not a hip hop podcast. It's not a mixed martial arts podcast. It's not, it's not one thing. It's
my boy asked me, he's like, so what's the topic? I was like, well, all the shit that I just listed, business, love, life, relationships, you name it, anything under the sun, fashion.
So if you were to coin it as one word, what would it be? Lifestyle, like a lifestyle podcast?
I would go with lifestyle, although
I think I would go with
YouTube. But in the YouTube world, lifestyle falls under like vlogs and get ready with me and what I ate today and come to the gym and shopping halls and like watch me clean my room. This is how I don't know. So I don't know what, that's the thing. I don't know what bucket we fall
I would just say it's real life to make it simple.
Real life.
Yeah, but it's not real life. What does it feel like?
But it's not like day-to-day real life, like what it is now on YouTube. There's people.
Yeah, it's not reality TV. It's It's
commentary.
I don't know what we would call it. Maybe you can't put us in a box. Yeah. Maybe it's unboxable.
If you're watching, put a comment. What y'all think, man?
What is it? What do y'all think? That is a good question because I have no clue.
My favorite podcast, and if I'd rather watch this than TV, I always watch the Joe Rogan podcast. Of course,
I'm a huge Rogan fan.
The GOAT.
I don't even watch TV. I was like, watch his podcast.
I'd be happier watching the Joe Rogan podcast and learning something.
Yep.
Landon said it to me the other day. I was like, sometimes I regurgitate information that I heard on the podcast, and I don't know if that's my opinion or if it's something that I heard from somewhere else. but it's good and it resonates with me. And he's like, well, watching the Joe Rogan podcast is as good as reading a book. You know, you're taking in information, you're hearing perspectives, you're talking, not talking to, but as if you're in the room with a physicist and all these actors and comedians and veterans and all this crazy stuff. It's very interesting, and I like to replicate that formula in a sense. And anybody can come up here and have a conversation. There's going to be a point where we have politicians and like people who are nowhere near music or sports.
That'll get ugly.
Or the culture. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. I don't have any fear of that. I'm
I don't
confident that we can hang with anybody.
But I'm definitely going to talk a lot of shit to
I was just about to say, you know his ass. You know his ass.
And I'm not no crazy politician guy. It'll be Landon sending me messages. You better tell him this. You know what I mean?
Like, you got strong opinions. And you stand on them.
Yeah. And I think that is something that both Chris and I do. Chris is probably a little bit more lenient in his approach, but he's gonna in a very like strategic manner squeeze it in there, and he's gonna corner you where you have to answer the shit. Me, they're gonna be like, all right, bro, chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the people that watch. There are comments that I hear from individuals that's like, oh, you know, Danza's a cocky bastard and he's so full of himself and and that Chris guy, he's so nice, he's well spoken. And you know, I'm the dickhead, Chris is a sweetheart.
Yeah. But you know what? That's what makes a dynamic so good. Yes. It really does. 100%. Like it's you can't have two Danzas or two Chris's. Right. You know what I mean?
100%.
You can't. This dynamic works so well, and I'm glad this marriage here happened, because this is what right. But this is a huge part of this pod and the success of it. You know what I mean? Is this chemistry that y'all have.
Thank you.
And you watched the It Is What It Is podcast with Cameron and Mace. I'm a huge fan of what everybody else is doing. Just because I'm doing something doesn't mean I don't enjoy what everybody else is doing. I think Math has a phenomenal podcast. I love Math. I think what everybody's doing on Caffeine is phenomenal. I think Joe Rogan has a phenomenal podcast. I liked what I seen from Too Real for Battle Rap when I got on there, and I had to be like, yo, what y'all talking? Y'all want to go at it? You know what I'm saying? And I invited them to come out. A lot of people were like, oh, you know, you're dogging them, you're talking shit. Nah, I'm dead ass serious. Come out. Come out to Miami. Let's chop it up. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. That's a real invitation. I know some people are probably thinking, oh, he's just fucking with him now. That's a real invitation.
Yeah, they ain't used to that. I enjoy the internet shit. You know, you're like, no, for real. You come through. Get you out here.
Say your piece.
Yeah. Oh shit, I ain't ready for that.
And so I see these interviews, and what I love the most about any interview I watch when there's multiple people in it is the dynamic of the two people that are having a conversation. Yeah. When it's a dope relationship between the two, it ends up being a dope podcast. Because you're able to flow off of one another. Yeah. Okay, he said this, I'm gonna rock with that now. Like, you know, I said this, so he's gonna go with that. Yeah. And we're attacking from all angles, but we're keeping it respectable. You know, we're making people feel comfortable inside of the room. They're opening up. People are getting content that they've never been able to get before, because it's not like we're asking for a specific thing. We're allowing that person to be 100% of themselves without us making them feel like forced in any capacity. So they're jumping up and they're sitting in the seat. You'll see it, like Chris said. You'll see a conversation where it starts off, somebody sitting there, you know what I mean, like
stiff as a board, ready to get this shit over with.
Talking into the mic and stuff, making sure the mic hears them, and then what you end up seeing is, you know what I mean? They're kicking their feet up on the table.
Making
you know what
themselves
I'm saying?
At home.
Like Bobby Shmurda is naturally. That's a name that we ain't dropped. You know what I'm saying?
That episode was crazy.
Man.
That was so fire.
Bobby Shmurda brought out the scumbag in all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all was talking about eating ass.
Him and Lou.
Lou got cash, man. That dude was something else too. It was funny. It was cool.
I never even heard of him until that pod, and then when I checked him out, I'm like, yo, I'm fucking with him. I'm listening to his shit.
He's fire.
I like him. Dope. And for me to be a fan of you in hip hop, I have to like you as a person. You know what I mean? And that pod made me like him as a person.
Absolutely. Me too. Shit, it's bro. They're meeting everybody on the team. We're sitting there off camera, fucking around, joking around. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Tony Boy. Yeah.
I saw that.
Yes,
post.
we did.
Tony Boy's in the building.
Yeah.
Tony Boy's in the
My
building.
guy, what's up, Tony?
Said y'all played my music during the Bobby joint. I appreciate y'all. Absolutely, man.
You know,
And every time, just so you
looking
know,
out for
Tony,
Buffalo.
just so you know, Tony, every time we play that, because if you see where Nova's sitting, there's a screen right behind it, and usually we'll have the music up there. Every time that song comes on, that specific one, everybody's like, yo, who is this?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, hold on, what song is this? Because, yo.
So
Yeah,
Just
they
so
hear
you
that
know.
shit. They hear the beats come up. You know what I'm saying? They know what time it is, and it's something that I'm. Everybody that knows anything about me knows that Buffalo is finding its way in any capacity. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we got Nova here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Yeah, man.
This is the Buffalo guy, but
Bro.
you do phenomenal work. It's not like I'm sitting there.
Come on.
I'm gonna tell you what though. You need to be chopped out for your work. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it.
I'm saying this because
Yo, Landon, clip this shit. Oh, wait, that's my job now. I'm clipping that shit.
Yeah, there you go. I say this. I say this because a shout out to my guy Brad too out in Australia providing us the timestamps.
All the
That's
way
how
from
raw
Australia,
we are.
baby.
That's how raw we are. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's
Yeah.
up. I didn't know that.
Yep. So with what I'm saying to you is I moved out of Buffalo because I felt like Buffalo was holding me back. And I love Buffalo. I absolutely love Buffalo. That's home. You know how you get that feel when you link up with somebody that you haven't seen in 20 years and you feel like you're 10 years old again, right? In my case, 18. God damn, I'm old. You know what I'm saying? But that's the same feeling I get when I think about home, when I go home. You know what I mean? And then 2 days go by, I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here before I end up getting in trouble. I feel like at home, in anybody's home, I used to say, you know, Buffalo's like this, but anybody that's from a certain place, that's grew up at a certain place, they expect you to stay that same person. Yeah. They don't want you to change. And they also expect free work, right? Like everything I did in Buffalo, every time I tried to do something, it was like, oh, yeah, you're dope, but my cousin's dope too, so I don't want to support you. I don't want to support your movement. I don't want to invest in your movement. I don't want to invest in what you do. I've known you for 10 years. This should be for the free. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what's tough. So what I say to you is not a knock on anybody you've ever dealt with. What I say to you is NovaVision is one of the flyest motherfuckers in that game right there. You know what I'm saying? So like when you're out there chopping up these videos, this is high quality shit. This ain't no joke. This is industry standard shit. You're bringing up your own element to it. And I'm like, yo, what type of a fool would I be to sit there watching this type of work coming out and me not reaching out to you? The truth, I ain't know if you were going to even fuck with me.
A lot of people say that, and that is so weird to me.
Big time, dog.
It shouldn't be weird.
You big time.
It's really weird to me. But a lot of people say that. Or like I'll run into somebody and they're just like, yo, bro, like you're cool as hell. I didn't expect that. I'm like, yo, what? It's just weird. The whole shit is weird. And it, you know, I was so happy that you hit me up, man. That's why I hit you back right away. Like, yeah, bro. I gave you a player price. I was like, I just want to work with you, and you're like, nah, I'm paying you what you deserve. Right?
Hey,
Absolutely, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to have a business relationship that isn't long lasting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that, again, it's like the topic of conversation. Always we got to build it. You know what I mean? Right. Where we start at doesn't mean that's where we finish at. Right. Because I tell you what. For when I hand myself a check, it's going to be dope. But when I hand Chris a check, it's going to be dope. It's something Landon and I were speaking about the other day. Like when I could sit there and be like, Chris, man, I appreciate you coming through the podcast all these times and making all these episodes, even for the ones you missed, you son of a bitch. And I sit there and I do the the URL big ass check that I hand you, get some bottle girls to hand it over to them. You know what I mean?
And you know what's dope is people say that, people say shit like that, but you are a person that is going to do that.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you are, and that's rare.
For sure.
There's so many people
shitty that it's rare.
It is shitty, but there's so many people in your situation, or have gotten success, and then they get greedy. Yep. They get this, that, third. Me and you are very similar in that aspect, where I'm always trying to like bring up the people I believe in. Right. That's also been like a downfall of mine too.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So
Definitely
like
a double-edged sword.
I've always gotten behind somebody or a couple of people that I believe in, and I ride. I'm just very loyal, and I ride till the wheels fall off, and I love doing it, especially if I can help them become successful in any aspect. You know what I mean? I ran 2 different record labels. I had artists under me, and I did that for a long time, and I'm that type of person too. We never got to where I wanted to be with those record labels, but if it would have happened, those artists that were under me, who are now like my brothers, you know, a couple of them stood in my wedding. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, man.
yeah. So you know, my kids call them uncles. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would have done, but it's so rare. It's so rare.
Well, especially for even in that role, being a manager or producer, or, you know, executive, whatever your roles were.
All of it. I wore all the hats.
Doing all that stuff, being the man behind the camera, it's like what I call the photographer's curse. It's like the photographer takes all the dope photos and captures all the fire moments, but there's no fly pics of the cameraman.
Yeah,
it's like I call it the cameraman's curse. Like, it's a thankless job, and sometimes when you're playing that, not playing, but you're in that leadership role, you don't always get the pat on the back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You might be putting in the hardest work. You could own the company and still be changing out the trash cans at night.
Yep.
And nobody's going to blink an eye and stop to say thank you, but this is what the fuck it takes to be great.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So that's part of the reason why we want to give you your flowers right here, right now.
It's
part of the inaugural introduction and
NovaVision.
Yeah. You know what
it
I'm
means
saying?
so much, and the people watching want to check my shit out. It's NovaVision 716 on every social media platform.
NovaVision 716.
Yep, I have a lot of dope content with a lot of dope rappers. So go check it out. You'll be surprised, and you'll be entertained, and you'll enjoy it. So,
what's the dopest project you worked on?
The dopest project I worked on I would say the one I'm currently working on. Okay. And that's with Conway.
Okay.
And that's, so for those that don't know, Conway injured himself at the I don't want to give too much details out, but he injured himself at the his album release party in Buffalo, and I was there for that. Yeah. And then so now I'm part of filming the comeback. You know what I mean? So I was there on it. That happened about a month ago. He's already on his 3rd or 4th
just
surgery.
dropped the album, man.
Yeah. God Don't Make Mistakes. Fire album. I love the direction he's going with it.
Won't he do it?
Or you're right. Won't he do it? Thank you.
I think that's the new one.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
I was
Conway, if he's watching this, he'd be like, "Yo, no."
He knows.
He lost the position.
Yeah, he knows.
Damn it, Conway, chill.
Con, we're gonna get you up here, but yeah. So I was there when he was coming out of surgery. So I got to film him come out of the hospital. This dude, bro, I've never seen nothing like it. This dude, mind you, he's already famous. He's already made it. He's already got his money. Yeah. He don't need to be working as hard as he does. He came out of surgery still under anesthesia. We rode back to his crib immediately. I'm talking about within a 20-minute, Buffalo's small, within a 20-minute time frame of him coming out of anesthesia, getting wheeled out. We carried him into the crib, put him back in the wheelchair, and he's got the mic, and he's fucking recording. No writing, just freestyling. And the anesthesia isn't even worn off. This dude's like can barely even open his eyes. Yeah. And I was just sitting there like, what is life? Yo, for real. And I told him, like, yo, bro, you really are the machine. Got all the bullet holes in his head and his neck. Now his legs all fucking mangled up. Like, and he's just still recording, bro. To still have that hunger at that level in the game is crazy.
It's impressive.
Bro. And Conway's always been one of my favorite rappers. So like to just be beside him is like it's like everything to me, bro. Like,
that's fly shit.
Yeah, and then my son, my 14-year-old son's a big fan of Conway. Okay. And when I was there the other day with him, Conway, he's supposed to meet with my son. I was like, yo, you're gonna make me father of the year, bro. He's like, let's make it happen. But whatever, it didn't happen. But when I was there, he was like, he's like, yo, FaceTime your son. I was like, "Where?" He's like, "Yeah." FaceTimed him. Oh my God, bro.
Hold on, let me screen record this.
Yeah,
Wait.
It all happened so quick. He didn't even screen. He was gonna. He said he was gonna screenshot it, and he was worried that Conway would get upset.
That's respect, though.
But it was dope, man.
There'll be more of those opportunities. That's for sure.
Yeah. So just that's the dopest thing. I've, in my opinion, I've done a lot of dope shit, and it's no knock on anybody, but what I'm doing now with him is the dopest shit, hands down, that I've ever done, in my opinion.
Well, what a piece of shit. It's supposed to be us. Nah, I have to say I'm fucking with you. That's fire though, and for me that like Conway is also one of, if not my favorite rapper, and I know that the biased shit is in there.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Like people are gonna look at that, but I genuinely enjoy his music. I genuinely enjoy all their music. But Conway has that emotional shit.
Yes, that's what I love about it.
It hits my soul. You know what I'm
Same,
saying,
bro.
And I'm usually chilling. You know what I mean? When I'm in the gym and I'm feeling lively, I got to put that butcher on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a different vibe for each artist.
And then with Conway, it's like, Conway, stop fucking with me, man. We already had this conversation several times. The podcast has been created as a place to facilitate your talents. You know what I mean? We're waiting to have this conversation. Now that we got Nova, don't even know. We just brought Nova on the team because he's close to you. You know what I'm saying?
You'd be really good if that was.
Yeah, right. But nah, Nova. I told Nova the other day. I'm like, I need you to call me on FaceTime when he's there and be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I never even like when you said that. I'm like, oh, that's dope. I'm gonna have him like we're gonna yell at him now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is also another dope thing in that because I love being able to work with artists and interview and have a conversation with artists that I don't even know that are dope. You're working with a music artist all the time that are hitting you up. You know what I'm saying? You might meet somebody that's dope. Chris has had a couple dope people come up here from different walks of life. A comedian, somebody that I wouldn't even know what I would generalize Stacks as. He's almost like your do it all guy. You know what I mean? Man. He's the Rain Man.
He could do it all for sure.
But we, you know, it's people get to bring up whoever we feel is dope, right. Whoever you feel is dope, whoever Chris feels is dope, whoever Landon feels is dope. Why not?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's obviously something to him that we gotta find out too, and to be able to find that out while we're sitting here having these conversations is dope because it usually pops up somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we're like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, this is fire. Yeah. This is dope. It is dope. So let me ask you this as, you know, you're sitting in the chair that we asked the questions at.
The hot seat.
You're watching us from afar. You see us because the shit's going on Facebook. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was probably where you found us first, right?
Yep.
And you see what we're doing. What's your take on what it was looking like when we came up?
When you first started?
Yeah.
It was impressive. When you first started was also about the time where one of my really close friends, my brother, Regis Hillman, was starting his podcast.
Okay.
And I was sending.
Shout out to Regis. Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah. That's my brother. And I was sending him your guys' podcast. Like, this is the formula right here. Like even like the way y'all had it set up and everything like that. And right off the bat, it looked official. And that's like I'm huge on like aesthetics and like if you got your shit together and quality.
The look.
Yeah.
That's part of your
no one wants to fucking see you in a dark bedroom with some old ass piece of shit camera, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right.
And no lighting or something crazy, you know what I mean? Like everybody, podcasting has become like rappers. Everybody's a rapper. Yeah. Everyone's got a podcast.
You got a phone, you could podcast.
Yeah, but you have to focus on what is going to separate you from the pack. You have to focus on what's going to make you unique. And you have to put a lot of time into that before you even start. You know what I mean?
Word.
And really think about that. And the same thing applies for rappers, new rappers or rappers that have been rapping for 20 years and still haven't made it. What are you going to do to separate yourself?
Yeah.
If you're still doing the same shit, performing at the same fucking venues in front of nobody or just other rappers, or what? How
are you gonna elevate?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you go back, and I don't know how far back the episodes go, but you'll see some of the lower quality, the lesser, you know, fewer cameras, fewer mics, fewer backdrops, and all this great
Yeah,
stuff
I don't
that
know.
we got.
I don't know if I caught on to that. When I caught on it, the quality was already there.
Yeah.
Word.
And you know what? We had, again, shout out to Landon on this. I'm going to stop doing this for you, Landon. but
Landon's getting mad love right now.
But that is how it happened, right? Like, and I consulted with other people as well for lighting. I sat in the room one day. I took the room up. Go ahead.
Let's talk about that. How did the genesis of the Danza Project, how did it, okay, so you had the idea, obviously, but what did you have to do to put all these pieces in place?
Landon was looking for weed.
Is that really what happened?
Yeah.
See, that's a dope story.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Landon was looking for weed. Landon's from Lakeland.
So he comes up to you, some Spanish dude?
Yeah, nah.
Landon's white, by the way.
Right?
So he's white.
Right. So Landon is out in he lived out in Lakeland. My brother-in-law lives out there. And he hits me up like, yo, I don't know if you could find any good weed out there. My boy's out there. He wants to smoke. And so I was like, yeah, just give him my number. Landon comes through. We're just sitting there kicking it. I'm like, yeah, you're cool with Danny. You're brother here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're sitting there. We're talking. He's telling me all this shit he does. And I had the idea in my head for the podcast. And I'm like.
That was before you started anything. It was just the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he starts telling me about what he could do. And I'm like, word? Well, maybe we could work together.
Right.
And from there, and shout out Dylan too, because Dylan was there early on. The real deal. He also helped me come up. He helped me come up with the original idea. Now I'm looking at it like, what the fuck am I about to do? I don't know how to work this shit. You know what I mean? We started off with one camera, but there's all this software. Like, people don't really understand how difficult it is and how much work it takes. And there's a room. We're setting up this room. There's a couch, another couch. And I'm like, damn, who do I get to host this with me? I don't want to do it on my own. Everybody said, no, it'd be perfect. You just do it on your own. You sound like Joe Budden.
Is this
what I mean?
Is this the first setup that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Or was there a setup before that? The one
The
that you were
first setup was us on a couch.
Yeah, but then we changed that whole room.
Yep.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
That was crazy to me. That was dope. I love seeing shit like that.
And really how it happened was I had this room that I threw a bunch of shit in. Right?
Right.
I just threw everything I can in there. If there was something that there was no storage room, so that was a storage room. So that we changed couches. So I fucking stuffed the fucking couch in that room, and all the other speakers I had in the house, the old clothes, the old shoes. It was literally a storage room, and it was a fucking mess.
Right.
And one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna clean it up. And as I was cleaning it up, I was like, let me throw this couch out, and I'm like. I sat it down, and I'm like, maybe the couch actually fits in here, you know? And then I sat it down in there, and I was like, let me put the table in the right position and put it in the room. And now I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is actually kind of a cool room. You know, this is kind of dope. And so I'm sitting there, and then Shots came through, Conway's brother.
Shots on
and we're sitting there talking, and I'm like, I'm going to build a studio in there, and I started getting stuff to do music again. You know what I mean? Chris asked me the other day, people are going to find your music. I'm like, yeah.
By the way, this dude is better than 90% of y'all rappers.
Ooh, I like that.
Sorry, bro. Yo,
my music is just
he
journal,
played me
though.
some shit the other day. He played me like the whole album. I was like, yo, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Put this shit out. He's like, he's like, it's for me. I'm like, bro.
It's a journal.
This
you
shit
know what
was
I'm
fire.
saying? I appreciate that. But it's a journal. I don't like if people listen to it, I'd be like, oh, what are people gonna think about you? I don't shit, whatever they think about me. I'm just honest. I'm a real person. Maybe this is their first opportunity to know it.
I'm just waiting for somebody to bring it up.
Yeah.
Bro, there was hooks, verses, all type bridges that I'm like, yo, who's on the hook? He's like, me. Who's on this? Me. I'm like, yo, what? Bro, like it's like, yo,
it's a feel. It's a vibe.
Impressive,
and I think that's when we did the podcast. We said, well, let's create a vibe. Let's vibe. You know, a lot of the shows you'll see at the end, we're just sitting there rapping. And we're just vibing. And you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people could be like, oh, yo, this motherfucker fucked up 5 times. And he was, I don't care. I'm just having fun. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's still up, but I can see it because I'm in it. But if you go to the Facebook original, the Danza Project fan page, or whatever you call this, you could see one of the original setups.
Is that the cover photo?
That's the cover photo.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that isn't the original because the logo was different. Thank God for Landon on that. We look like Bang Energy drinks. You know what I mean? I thought the logo was dope, and then Landon was like, "Here," and this is what again. Let's just talk about it, right? Because since we're getting into that, Landon provided insight in places that I thought was already good, didn't need any help. Right. And then he sent the he took the logo and he just changed it. He was like, "Here's your new logo." You know what I mean? And I'm like, that is pretty fucking dope, bro. You know what I mean? And I didn't know we needed a new logo. Had he told me that we needed a new logo and just didn't go ahead and chop one out, I probably would have been like, no, we don't need a fucking new logo. You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm putting this in, this shit sucks. And I'm like, well, I paid for that one. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? You know, and it's these small steps that has helped us to grow. Right. So we have this room and we got the podcast going, and I have the idea of how we're going to speak, of what we're going to talk about, of the guests that we're going to bring up.
And the formula was always what it is now. Like, you wanted it to be a conversation.
Yep. And everybody wanted me not to do that.
Really?
Shout outs to Mateo made it. He didn't like the idea at all.
Shout outs to Pretty, man.
Yeah.
Another secret member of the squad.
That's another one. Yeah. And then it was us
coming for my
down.
chain soon.
Yeah.
I need a NovaVision joint. I need a Danza Project joint.
Hello.
Oh, maybe we start doing that.
We gotta start doing that, bro.
Chaining day. You know what I'm saying? So we had
that's fly.
We had this setup, and it's like we're going live on Facebook and on YouTube and on Instagram, and we're using Restream to get it all set up. And every day it was like, Landon's like, you need to get this and you need to get that and you need to get this. I'm like, Landon, you're going to make me broke. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but, and trust me, I fought it tooth and nail. I don't want any of this. I don't think we need that. I don't think we need this. And we just kept growing and growing and growing and growing.
Look where we're at. Yeah. This is impressive.
That's the thing.
It's from painting the walls to me not wanting to paint the walls, because I brought somebody in there that's a professional videographer that does different type of videos, like commercials and shit.
Right.
And I was like, what do you think about the room? He's like, good podcast. Your lighting is terrible.
Oh, as a cameraman? Like
yeah, he just came in there and showed me. He was like, you need to buy lights. And I'm like, I don't want to buy fucking, this room is small. I'm not going to buy no fucking lights. And he's like, well, then you'll never have the production that you're saying that you
lighting
want.
Is literally everything.
Crucial.
Everything.
I had no idea.
Here's a tip for you budding photographers and videographers. You can have the most oldest, cheapest camera there is. If your lighting is right, that's it. It's all you need. Yep.
That's true.
Study lighting.
And then it was from painting the room.
So that's what's funny, is because initially fighting tooth and nail, but let this also be said, Danza is a wild boy. So once his mind is on something and he sets it to it,
going all in,
he decide that that's what he wants to do. Before I knew it, the roof is coming down, the walls are going, this the paint, we got new art, new tables, new chairs, new this, that, and the third. Like I said, 2 mics to 3 to 4 to 1 cam to 2 cams to 3, and
these cameras are top notch. Like I know videographers that can't afford this.
To walk around with.
For one.
And what a pain in the ass.
For
you know, I'm not rich.
Yeah, but you're sitting here with fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gimbals, fucking everything. You're a cameraman's dream in here.
It's funny, J.R. Ryder and Fred were here, and we were talking about this.
Yeah.
And he's like, where you get this from? I'm like, got it from some place, just a cat. And he was like, man, you got to tell people this came from Europe and it's this and that, right?
Paris. Italy.
And then Paris. And then I go on my order. It did come from Europe. Oh, so did the table. So did these chairs. Shit. That's where they fucking came from. That's why it took them so goddamn long to come. And I'm impulsive and impatient, right? So like when we get certain things, I get pissed off if it's not there like the next day.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
You know what I mean?
Especially with camera shit.
I'm the worst when it comes to shit like that. Like I need this and I need that and I want this and I want that. Well, why can't you do it today? When the interior designer showed me the layout for the room, I'm like, dope. When are you coming to do it? She's like, Tuesday. I was like, fire. She came here Tuesday and they set up this wall. And I was like, time out. What's going on here? And they're like, well, every piece has to be done. Like, this one's done this week. The next one will be done in 2 weeks.
Oh.
The next one will be done in 2 weeks. I was like, well, no, I have a podcast on Thursday. You have to do all the walls. Right. You know what I mean? And now I'm like sad and hurt. You know what I mean? Like, it was like the most depressing shit in the world for me. Like, oh, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, Chris sent me these people, and this is what's going on. And shout out to them. E-Creative, because, man, they hooked it up.
Is that the company?
Yeah, interior design company that hooked us up. And, man, are they fucking good. I had a layout. I'm going to take a little credit, but it looked nothing like this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit came out.
You almost got the big desk.
Yep.
Like
executive desk. It was like, we're going to be like Dave Letterman out here.
Is that what it was?
That. Or like you seen Logan
King
Paul?
Pid, yep.
Like kind of how they're
okay.
Like kind of set up.
Yeah.
Which would have been. I mean, we would have made it work.
That would have been fire.
In a fucking phone
for
booth,
sure.
You know what I mean?
But this is a little more intimate.
Yeah.
I like.
That was the idea. I gave her views. I gave her podcasts.
Right.
And she made it what I was really asking for. So when she sent me the layout, I was like, wait, that's ours? I was so excited. I'm like a little kid. I'm like, Chris. Because Chris fucking annoys the fuck out of me during the days. This dude never answers my phone call because he's working and shit.
I'm on the
and
phone.
I'm like, and I'm like trying to call him 3 times, and I'll fucking text him, yo. You know what I mean? Like, I know he's busy, but I'm like, I know you got time to take this phone call.
That's
I gotta send you the
impatient shit.
Yeah. And I like the surprise factor. I like hearing people when I send them something. I want to hear their tone. I want to see their face. So I'm going to call you on FaceTime. Look at this shit. I can't take a FaceTime call right now. Of course you can. Just tell the person that you're going to call them in 10 minutes. Of course you can. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but that's why we're here. That's how this all came about. It's been a team effort. I'm not here without Chris.
Right.
You know, the same way I'm giving Landon love for what Landon's done. I told Chris a bunch of times, and people have told me that too. Oh, you could do just fine without Chris, and you could. No, I can't, because it's not. I won't feel right. I'm not going to feel right in the room always doing these conversations alone.
So let's talk about how you and Chris met.
That was fun.
How long have y'all known each other?
Well, when did you get your whip? Was that like 18, 17?
2017 or 2018. Probably 2018.
About 6 years.
Yeah.
And the pod's been going on for how long? 2?
2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, but we met the most random way possible.
Let's talk about
strictly transactions. So,
let's talk about it.
I used to sell cars. I've been a salesman for a long time, over the phone, in person, and whatever. So my boy Jeremy, J-Bo, got me a job selling cars. I was looking for an opportunity. He said, you can make such and such. I got a guy who just cleared this much. You want to give it a shot? Absolutely. So let's go. Signed up, regular day at work. It was later at night. This dude rolls in this old Altima. Was it Altima? 2-door? Was it Maxima?
It was an Altima.
2-door
coupe.
2-door coupe.
Oh,
terrible
shit.
car.
And he was over it. He's like, man. And I'm not knowing who he is. I have no idea. This is just a random, what you call a
customer.
Yeah, but don't know from. Sometimes you have appointments. Not this case.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just out there waiting, what you call an up. I'm out there waiting for ups. And I see this car roll in. You can see when somebody's ready to trade their car and like, oh, you ready to get rid of that. Yeah. That's a buyer, right?
Right.
So let's get you qualified. But comes in, we just start chopping it up, just tells me a little about where he's from, so on and so forth. He's got this Chris Brown pyramid fit, top to bottom.
Black pyramid.
Black pyramid, palm trees. Like, I don't know if he's local or not. Come to find out he's a Buffalo boy.
Fresh to Miami.
I was just helping him select a vehicle. He had a couple things in mind. He kind of knew what he wanted. But, you want to make sure it's worth your time and it's a decent vehicle as well. So got to the root of the source, and long story long, we hit it off and just connected from there.
So what did, like, during that transaction, would y'all change numbers or something?
Well, there's a pivotal moment that he tells a little bit better than I do. Sometimes I skip parts out, but specifically in the way I remember it, we were going for a test drive. We finally landed on the right car. It was a Benz. It's actually the similar car I drive now. A black Benz E-Class, nice shit. Nice jump from the Altima.
Hell yeah.
And we're going for a test drive, and he's like, yo, before I buy this car, like, I gotta check the sound. Do you mind if I play like my own song? Fuck the radio. Like, can I hook up the Bluetooth and we'll take a test drive and we'll hear it? Because that's the number one way I like to sell cars. I want to make sure you love it. So let's play that song that you fucking love.
Right.
Roll the windows down if you got to. If it's a convertible, drop the top, nigga. Hit the gas. Put your seatbelt on. Let's ride. Like, you're going to own this shit. So let's do that. And he's like, bet. Connects to Bluetooth. I remember like it was yesterday. We're right around the corner, right from the dealership. Puts on Nipsey Hustle and Motivate.
Oh, shit.
And the way that song starts with the, Hustle and Motivate.
That's what sold him?
Yeah. So
he's like,
puts it on. The intro's playing. He's rolling a little slow. We're still in the back of the plaza. Finally hits the road. Bumping. Oh, man. So right off that, we already like, yeah, nigga, this the one.
Yeah,
like, just
dope.
off the top, then, boom, got him approved for it. Drove it home that night. I got the picture. I got to post that. I'm going to post that this week.
Hell yeah.
Got a picture of us linked. And that was it. Just a real dude. And, you know, at one point he was in between two cars, and I gave him my honest opinion. I remember you telling me, like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, you could have lied to me just to sell me whatever the fuck is gonna get you your commission, whatever your compensation is for the day. I could have treated him like another customer, but he told me, like, man, you didn't do that. You actually took the time to figure out and help me out, and I appreciate that. That's love, like respect. Right. I'm like, shit, no, let's get a pic, man. Like, this is dope. And just organically like that, strictly transactional, hit it off, met a random fucking dude. Ended up being cool as shit.
That's dope. You still got that pic that you're talking about?
I still got that flick.
I'm going to clip this. Send me that pic.
All right, I got
put that shit on.
That's why we got NovaVision. Nova's got the vision.
Sure. Yeah.
That's dope.
And then it was me hitting him up a couple times to step out because he knew the city more than I do. I knew he understood the city. He's the mayor out there.
You're like, I got a Miami friend
and
now.
He ain't really could never link up with me. And then we linked up a couple times, and I knew the conversations were so dope that when I thought about this podcast and shit, I'm like, I gotta get this. And at that moment, we're not the coolest of friends. You know what I mean? I just know he's a cool dude. He knows I'm a cool dude. That's what it is.
Mutual respect.
But I knew that the talking point, because we talked for like 12 fucking hours.
Right.
Yeah, anybody.
That's how long that deal took.
You can spend all day at the dealership.
And it was legitimate 12 hours. I'll never forget that shit.
But that's fire.
I didn't expect it to take that goddamn long, but 12 hours into it, I remember having conversations with people like, yo, I'm trying to get this car, but I've been there all day. What should I do? Walk out. Don't get it today. You know what I mean? Get the better deal. You'll get a better deal if you come back tomorrow. I'm like, I don't know, this dude's cool as hell. I think he's been trying to help me with everything. I'm gonna get it.
Everyone's got tricks when it comes to buying cars. They think they do anyways.
You have a conversation with somebody on that level, you know if somebody could talk that shit or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as I'm doing the podcast, it was G. Shout out G.
Fresh.
And it was Chris, and I was fucking with Chris. I kept telling him, yo, gotta do this shit. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try to make it. I'm like, no, you gotta make it.
When he was asking you to be on the pod originally, like the first, like, yo, I'm trying to start this pod. I want you to be a part of it. What was your thoughts?
I get in the way of myself sometimes, a lot of times. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't know what to say. What are we going to talk about? Oh, but what about...
Because you never done nothing like this before, right?
Not like this.
Did you be on camera this much?
I did like one small I was a guest on the podcast. I've done like just fuck around like skits or like little bullshit. Just silly shit. I got a good sense of humor, I think. And I worked at a comedy club, still working at a comedy club.
Oh, shit, okay.
12 plus years now. So you got to absorb some of that good humor.
Yeah,
you got to learn how to take a fucking joke, or you'll end up being the butt of that joke. So get in where you fit in. But
is that your Banks?
Yeah, right. I also feel that I have a lot to say. It's just I've never had an outlet to say it in or a camera to say it in front of. Like, I'm not the type of guy to jump in the camera and tell my life story in front of a camera or cry on camera or do nothing like that. But being able to come up here and voice and talk about real shit, grown man shit, and have conversation amongst other men who are doing whatever they're doing in their industry, because G was on his way working to be a business owner. He's basically self-employed. He's a barber. Right. And, he has his business. I was working on mine, working on my clothing company and all that shit. I said, man, this is almost therapeutic.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt. I just I found myself speaking on things that I never really brought up in just a friend circle. Right. And here I am feeling free to talk about it on camera. It was like, I look back and I'm like, oh, that's dope. I just said some dope shit. Or I'm telling stories and sharing parts of me that I normally wouldn't post or talk about.
Right.
Talking on different subjects about how my dad was this and how when I grew up and my sister, and one time I got in a fight and I jumped this nigga or whatever this.
Time out. I gotta interject real quick. Esteban said, I told you to get the whip. because he's watching right now. He did tell me to get the whip. All right. Love Esteban. Go ahead. Did I fuck up your thought?
No. But yeah, man, it's just it did a lot, and call it a selfless maneuver, but it did a lot for myself. It did a lot for me. You know, like I said, I get in the way of myself. Had not somebody brought that kind of opportunity to me and actually make me feel like, yo, you got something dope to say, you should say it.
Right.
I wouldn't have started my own podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So meeting up, having a couple of drinks, hitting a joint or whatever it is, and talking about life, it's been therapeutic for me. Yeah,
I can tell from watching the pod, and especially being here in person now, watching the pod too. You're an old soul, like you're of a wise soul, and you're deep. How was it? You're deep. Pause.
Right.
How was it? How was it your very first episode on camera? Were you nervous?
No, because
like driving in, were you getting yourself pumped up? Like
a little bit, but I know I could talk. I got the gift of gab. I feel like
you're a salesman.
Man, I'm a salesman, but not naturally. I became a salesman because I didn't always feel comfortable speaking publicly. I didn't always have a voice. Like one of the coolest comments I received, somebody told me, I used to train jiu-jitsu with him. Shout out to my Cookie. He said, man, you were so quiet all the time. I'm glad to see you actually talking. I didn't know you had this in you.
I was just going to ask that. So as a kid, like, were you like a shy kid, quiet, or just like?
Yeah, honestly, I've always been quiet. I've always tried to be as humble as possible. When I was younger, I was very heavy. I was heavy set.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have all this. I wasn't such a handsome young man. You know, I wasn't 6'2" when I was in 5th grade. I was 6 foot wide. Like,
oh, wow.
I got a picture of me in an Old Navy sweater and I'm the size of a fucking mobile home. You know what I'm saying? But
wow,
yeah. So I hit.
I gotta see that.
It's a good one. A lot of people laugh at it whenever I show.
But I love that shit. I love people transforming themselves. I know the work it takes to get there.
Yep,
I love it.
Yep, but I never really had an outlet to really say my piece, and it gave me an opportunity to do that. Like again, I've always had the gift of gab. I've always been very personable. I've always grown up around older folks. And I've always tried to, spread my circle and meet new people and connect and network people. And I was already connecting people in real life.
Right.
I've always been somebody who's like, yo, word, my boy does AC. Matter of fact, hit my boy. Oh, my boy does auto repair. Why not hit him? Oh, my boy does tax work. My boy is a rapper. That. So I said, damn, if we do this on camera, at some point we could also get paid from that too. So let's start working on this network. Then I meet this crazy fucker, and that's all he talks about. This is a network. This is not a podcast.
Yeah. Right.
You're not coming up here to do an interview. You're coming up here to talk some real shit.
Right.
We're connecting with real people, business owners, athletes, rappers, rock stars, whatever walk of life you're in. And that's what attracted me to this.
It's amazing.
But it was just cool to, again, say my piece in front of people and hold myself accountable and make sure I mean what I'm saying. Because I'm already thinking in my head, like, somebody could clip this one day and let me not say the R word. Let me not say the G word. Let me not call somebody the C word or whatever it is. And then all that shit kind of went out the window. We calling people gay, retarded, all cut this, that, and third. Fuck it. Well, what's funny is, too, I go link my family. And it's Thanksgiving, and I don't get to see that side of the family too much. So when we do, we celebrate everything. Oh, we missed your birthday. Everybody's getting a cake. We're celebrating now.
Oh, that's cool.
We're doing Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day all in one day. Now that we're all here, let's celebrate. We're here. Let's have a couple drinks, drink some wine, eat some good food. And so my aunt asked me, she's my godmother as well, so she takes extra ownership, extra pride in me to make sure I'm good. And she asked me, so what's been going on, man? You're busy. You look good, but from what I understand, your mom tells me you're busy. Absolutely. I got this, that, and the third going. I've been training here. I got my clothing company. I've been doing this. I started this job. Oh, and I got my podcast, man. It's going crazy. It's actually really popular. And she's like, really? What's the name of it? I was like, oh, shit. In the back of my head, I'm like, damn, I don't want my aunt tuning into the rapper podcast where I'm smoking blunts with Sauce Walker and drinking liquor, talking about cunt, all this crazy wild shit.
Rapper shit.
I'm almost like, yeah, it's on YouTube. It's out there. It's out there. I gotta think twice. I gotta think twice about I always did think twice about the things I was saying early, but even more so now. It's like I'm living a double life, to be honest.
Right.
It's like I'm living a double life. It's strange. I forget that this reaches people.
Right.
I forget that somebody's going to catch this 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And how come when they asked you about Andrew Tate, you said that, or whatever it is.
Right.
When he brought up Donald Trump, you were leaning on the side of, when he said she's whatever it is.
It's a crazy world we live in, bro.
But with that, you assume the responsibility of what you're doing. And you gotta, you know, again, even in sales, you got to manage expectations. You got to understand your audience. You got to know what you're saying and be held accountable for what you're promising or trying to deliver. So I hold myself to that same standard on the podcast here, even with the curse words and the scandalous conversations and topics. As long as I'm sticking to my truth, I could sit up here and talk to anybody about anything.
Right.
It is what it is. I've luckily and unfortunately simultaneously have been able to experience a lot of life early. A lot of bad, majority bad, and also a lot of good, to where I know myself and I know where I stand. So I can stand on the shit that I say.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about saying something that I didn't really mean, because I generally say everything that I do say, I generally do mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with that, there's a different level of freedom, bro.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Shit up here.
I can relate to that.
You know what I mean? If you don't know who you are and you get caught up here on one of these lives like we're doing right now, slipping and slacking, somebody go call you out, or it's not going to be conveyed as truth.
Right.
And the comments will show that.
Yeah.
You know, so I do get a kick out of those comments when people are like, he's talking his shit. Good shit, man. He's wise. That shit hypes me up, man. I love that shit.
Did you grow up in Florida?
Born and raised.
Like the Miami area?
Yeah. So I grew up in the Tri-County area. If you guys don't know what that is, that's Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and then Palm Beach County. So initially, I grew up in Miami, down by Miami Zoo, Metro Zoo, back in the day, almost Homestead, real down South Miami, till I was about 9 years old. My parents split, moved to Broward, lived here till I was about 21, and then moved to Palm Beach, lived there for 2 years, and then came back to Broward.
Always been a Florida boy.
Always been a Florida boy. I know people all across this land. That's why he says Chris is like the mayor. Yeah,
he is the mayor.
It's funny because you know, my birth name is Chris. My nickname is Kato. It used to be Kato Keep Killing and Chris Nova Kane, you name it. Chris with a K.
So we share the Nova.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the
I had that problem when I'm typing the name in. And both of them pop up. I hate that, by the way. I'm so used to shit working a certain way.
Where did the Nova King come from?
So honestly, I needed to change my name. So again, my name
For
is...
the pod?
No. So my name is Chris, K-R-I-S, government. That's what it is. I didn't just make that part up. Christopher.
Yeah.
But on... originally we had... A lot of people had MySpace, right? MySpace, you could make whatever name you want it to be.
Yeah.
So it was... I think it was like my initials and like the first few letters of my address because it matched my email address, whatever. Then Facebook came, and it was supposed to be your real name. You weren't supposed to have usernames.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't use my MySpace name. So I said, all right, well, I don't want to use my real name either.
Right.
I was into certain shit, so I wanted to use an alias. And I wanted to see what the fuck I could get past. So I was typing in different variations of my name and my nickname, and I got it to accept Kato Keep Killing, M as my real name on Facebook. So on Facebook. So everybody's looking at me like, how the fuck did you pull that off? That's clearly not your government name. Like, what the fuck is that? And so I put that life away, put that life behind me, you know, went through what I went through and came back on the other side and said, I need a new fucking name. I can't be Kato Keep Killing Them, because that's how people are going to view me as somebody who lives that lifestyle. So I was trying to be creative. And, you know, it means a couple of different things. A lot of people refer to Frank Ocean.
I was about to say, I was about to start singing it.
Nova That's a fucking fantastic fucking song. If you look up the meaning of that song, that has a lot to do with it, about being numb, about not feeling pain, about sometimes wanting to feel pain, to feel normal, and to know that everything's real and stuff like that. Wow. And then obviously Nova is like the rebirth of a star. It's the dying of a star, and then also
death of a star and the rebirth of a star.
And then also
serious
Novocaine is also a medication similar to, although not quite, cocaine.
Yeah.
So you can go all around the world with that. You can figure out it, but people tell me it sounds like a magician's name, an R&B artist name, like all kinds of shit, man. So yeah, that was it. I just that was I don't believe that you should gift yourself a nickname. I believe it's earned or given. Like that's the dopest shit. When people call you whatever the fuck because that's how you are, that's how you're known. I think that's dopest shit. But I just made up a cool name for.
Hey,
Instagram.
nothing wrong with that. I was given Nova.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, that's dope. Tony Danza. Danza Project. Where does that come from?
Music. When I came out here, I was really focused on building a new me. And I knew that music for me was an outlet, therapeutic for me. If anybody hears my music, they'll hear all sorts of different genres in what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
I noticed that big time.
It's organic and it's a vibe. Whatever I'm feeling in that moment is what I'm going to speak about. And it's really just me writing. And I'm like, I'll hear a beat. I love going through my days, just driving in the car, clicking YouTube type beat, picking a person, and just listening to beats and freestyling and shit like that. And then it's like, I still want to do music, but I don't want to put it out there for people to be like, are you still a rapper? Are you still a rapper? Are you still trying to make it in rap? Because I wasn't trying to make it in rap. I was just having fun with it. And I was writing a song, and it was called, Who's the Boss?
Oh, shit.
And
interesting.
And it's my personality, because I'm always
100%.
I'm cheese smiling at all times. Like,
yeah.
anybody that knows me knows no matter what the mood, even when I'm about to scrap with somebody, I'm the type of motherfucker that walks up with the biggest cheese smile, and they're like, this motherfucker's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something wrong with him. Even you could catch me pissed off having a meeting with my team, and I just got that big ass smile, and they're like, what the fuck? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, who's the boss? Who's the boss? Tony Danza. Who's the boss? It was something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, that's the name I'm gonna go with, because I was just making music, and I'm just gonna call it Tony Danza. But it was only for that small moment of the songs I was creating. I didn't see myself making songs forever.
Right.
And I was completely bombarded by South Florida. South Florida you don't walk up to somebody and ask them for their phone number. I thought girls were dissing me when I first moved out here, because I'm trying to get their number, and they're like, take my Instagram.
Yeah.
Bro, every time a girl said that, I felt like I got curved. Out here, and I started speaking. Oh man, I saw this bitch. She was dope. I went up to her. I tried to holler at her. She was like, "There, take my Instagram." I was like, bougie ass bitch. You know what I mean? And then I realized that Instagram is South Florida. Like, it's huge out here. Now in Buffalo, people still don't even really fuck with.
Bro, Buffalo is so behind on everything.
Yeah, we're like Facebook.
I know.
generals.
I've been trying to tell people, like, yo, Facebook in everywhere else of the country is for old people.
Yeah,
like
except for Buffalo.
Except Buffalo. Buffalo rocks with Facebook.
Yeah, Big K was clowning us. He was like,
was he?
Yeah, he was like, he was
okay, Grandpa.
Yeah, he
See?
he was like, next week, let me know when everybody finds out that Tina Turner died. You know what I mean? And it's just, I was like, damn, shout out Big K. And it's true though, right?
No,
so
they're behind on everything.
Now I'm on IG, and my name was Tony Danza. And I'm meeting up with people. Now we're exchanging Instagrams and shit like that. But I'm always introducing myself as Miguel Miggs. That's it. And everybody's like, Danza. And they're saying it in Spanish, because everybody out here is Spanish. Danza. Danza. You going to work out, Danza? And I'm like, this shit is annoying now. You know what I mean? Because I was done with the music. I was done with the music page. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then it was just so much of this Danza shit that I'm like, all right, fuck it. I guess out here I'm Danza. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's ended up being
stuck.
It got stuck to the point where I couldn't eliminate myself from it. I was like, no, Miguel. Oh, okay. And then fucking an hour later, Danza. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is a fucking thing now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't fight it.
There's just genuinely people that think my name is Tony or Danza.
Right.
And I actually eliminated the Tony. It doesn't even exist with me no more. But people just call me Tony.
Still Tony.
People reach out to me, yo, Tony. And I'm like, fuck, this fucking Tony shit again.
You know what else it is? Like, Instagram is also your business card.
Word.
You know what I mean? So it's like.
But I'm okay with I'm so organic
card.
and so me that I'm totally okay with being Miguel. But I don't think the Miguel Project would sound as good as the Danza Project. I'm not gonna lie.
Miguel
You know what I mean? I think that I won with that. So I gave myself the nickname. I tried to do away with it, but everybody appointed me as Danza.
If you use it as an artist name, that's different. You could give yourself that, right? That's different.
Yeah.
I actually forgot to tell you. So I actually don't even, people know me as Chris Novocaine, but I don't really go by Chris Novocaine. A lot of folks who know me as Kato, Kato.
Really?
Yeah, that shit just completely slipped my mind. That's how funny it is. But
wow,
that's my real nickname. That's what a lot of people know me as, to the point where people don't even know that my name is Chris. Who is Chris Novocaine? Because they know me or have met me as Kato for so long. Sometimes you talk about Chris and people are like, who the fuck is that?
Damn.
Kato. Oh yeah, you talking about cuz with the? Oh yeah, that's Kato. Yeah, I know Kato. And that one I was actually gifted from a friend who's no longer my friend, which is annoying, but it happens. Yeah. This was in high school. He said, I remind him of a character from, it was like one of those classic BET movies. And he said, I remind him of that guy. And it was somebody who constantly was looking out for other folks and never for himself. Like he would always cut himself short, but he was always looking out for the hood and the gang and his son and all this stuff. But it was never important to look out for himself. And he's like, you remind me of that. You expend yourself for a lot of other people. You don't really do the same love for yourself.
That's fire.
Kato, and he started introducing me. I didn't even have a choice. He was like, yeah, like I was like, damn, cool. It's a great fucking nickname. You know, you hear Tupac, rest in peace, my nigga Kato, all that. So
yeah,
it has like it's synonymous with the neighborhood and such. But he just started introducing me as that. Oh yeah, that's my boy Kato, and everybody's like, oh, what's good, Kato? Nice to meet you, and took off from there. And then probably 10 years later, my boy I work with at the Improv, my boy Brad, shout out to B-Rad, he hits me up. He goes, I figured it out. We're just walking in past, and he stops me. He's like, yo, I just figured it out. I was like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, your nickname, Kato. I know why they call you Kato. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, I got you. I figured you out. He goes, because your name is Chris, but it's spelled with a Kato. I was like, no, nigga, that's not it. But I might have to use that. I might have to start telling people it's Chris, but with a Kato.
I like
with
that.
That's actually hard.
Yeah.
So people call me Kato. Well, that ain't the story, but that fucking fits. Shout out to Brad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I forgot. That whole story slipped my mind when you asked me, man. But yeah.
So it's pretty dope.
Yo, he was sure too. Yo, I figured you out, bro.
He's a high times guy, so he was literally like, bro, I figured you out, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, your name, it's Chris, but with a Kato.
Yeah,
and he's doing this. He's like,
that's some pie.
I was like, no, but yeah. Lando.
I'm over here trying to get Landon's attention.
Wake up, my guy.
Nah, he's up. Can I get some waters, please?
Please and thank you.
For the team.
I could definitely use the water.
So it's a very interesting story how it all comes, because everybody has their real lives.
Yep.
You know, like, everybody goes through shit. I hate that in this world today that we have is whatever anybody else went through is more important than what you went through.
Yeah.
What everybody...
Or worse.
Yeah. It's... Chill out.
Yeah.
We all went through shit. Yeah. We all are currently going through shit. You could talk to the richest man in the world and he's depressed and he wants to throw himself off of a building. And you could talk to the poorest man in the world off a corner and he's the and he's the happiest son of a bitch on planet Earth.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's inevitable. No matter what stage you are in life, you are dealing with human beings. Right? You're dealing with real problems.
Right.
Real life. And it's not simple.
Thank you, brother.
None of this shit is simple. And everybody goes through their own shit. So to be able to sit with somebody and acknowledge that they do have their own story and they have their own take is something that's huge for me. You know, you have your own story. Mm-hmm. I have my own. He has his own. Landon has his own. Every single day that we're coming together and we're talking about ideas on how to create something.
Right.
You know what I mean? The way Kato or Novocaine or Chris came to be, there's these stories behind it. You know, the way Danza came to be and Miggs and Miguel, there's stories behind it. You know what I mean? Nova and James, there's stories behind how all this came to be. There's real people that offer real insight on everything you do. Landon, Lando, you know? I gave him a nickname. I forgot what it was. Produced by Landon. You know what I mean? And like everybody has their own twist, and if you try to take that away from somebody at any moment, the only thing you got to do is push them more into their shit, right? Like, for instance, when the studio was being created, I was talking to the interior designer, and she goes, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't really want to tell you what I want to do. I gave you a beginner.
Right.
You know, I gave you the start. This is what I think. This is what I see. You're creating a layout now. Go for it. You're the creator. You're making videos. Make the videos. Landon's literally creating the way people view us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, do it.
Right.
Switch up the screens and make the kid, because if it were me and I'm doing the video, like you could see my feet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll be able to see the entire wall. The picture has to be in there. There's no way I paid for that picture, and the picture's not in every shot. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? But like it wouldn't look right.
Yeah.
I told Landon, you know how many times I told Landon, well, if you would get this program and this would be this and da-da-da, and he's like, okay. You know what I mean? And then he'll actually like do it to fuck with me or something. Oh yeah, go ahead and get this, and it just doesn't look the way I thought it. Well, I think that you're just doing it wrong, and he's like, I think you're an idiot. You know what I mean? Like it's all right, but that's how it is. Oh, I could tell why the people didn't view this episode. It's because you had the settings wrong. This is how you're supposed to put the settings. Right. Put the settings like that. The shit doesn't even turn on. And I'm like, but something's wrong with it. That's why. You know what I mean? Like the camera was supposed to look like this. Or if you change this angle or change this lens, what the fuck do I know?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why you help push, like, and that's what I'm doing currently. I'm trying to push people into more and more and more and more their element.
Right.
With Chris, with Landon, with you, with myself. You know what I mean? I just want to sit back and do the things that I'm good at, what he's good at. And if we bring that together and we do it the right way, you have the Danza Project as it is today.
And that's why it works. Yeah. And I'm just so grateful, bro, that I could be in my element doing what I love and be here and do it. I was just in Buffalo hours ago. I didn't even know I was coming out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, we got a show. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I've been working for 15 years, every single day for an opportunity like this. Because I've been grinding in Buffalo for pennies.
And you know the end mission, right?
What?
Until it's just a short drive.
Oh, trust me, I'm on that.
like that.
I'm on that, bro.
That's like my thing. Like everybody has to be nearby. I can't do this whole fucking long distance shit.
I don't know if my wife's watching, but this is all I've been talking about for the past week.
It's important.
We need to make
you know what I mean?
We need this is the opportunity right now.
And I'm an annoying piece of shit.
And I get paid triple the amount for music videos what I do in Buffalo. And I already have a guaranteed job right now.
Right. It's a lot of work down here, man.
Right. The potential is crazy. I know if I come out here with my skill set and my drive and my grind, I'm going to run shit up.
Yeah.
Like, I know that. You know what I mean?
And to me, that's what life is all about, is to what you were saying about, seeing people do what they do and be the best at it. That's the dream. That's the goal.
Yep.
I've always envied people that get to do what they love, right?
Yep.
I think that's one of the reasons why we all love watching athletes and hearing the stories about being adopted and coming from nothing and growing into, and making something out of their lives and doing what they love. Like that's the dream for everybody. How many people got a job that they fucking cannot stand?
So many people.
You know what I'm saying?
I try to instill that in my sons all the time, man. And I'm so grateful that they soak up everything that I'm doing, and they're so happy. They're so proud of me, and it's like the craziest, dopest feeling, dude.
Yeah,
and
because that's what you do it for.
I can't wait till my son's proud of me,
bro.
You know what I mean? Because he's not old enough to be proud of me. He doesn't know what proud of
he's
is.
The most proud
he just knows.
Right
he just knows this is Superman.
Your dad,
you know
the dad's supposed to be proud of their kids, but my kids are proud of me, and that's just. Everything.
I think the dad. I think the kids are supposed to be proud of the dad.
No, I know.
The dad
but
is the son. Where's Cassidy at?
But we're as dads, we're selfless. You know what I mean? So we're not thinking about it the other way, and it's
definitely a blessing to see it reciprocated, man.
Yeah.
But man, there is nothing like, and this is the thing, man. Like, of course, there's shortcuts, there's hustles, there's quick plays, there's schemes and scams.
Yeah.
But when you really get it, pause, the long way, the hard way, pause. Talking all these battle rappers, you got to be on point. But getting it the long way, man, like, and really earning it, it's just different. Yeah. And it's gonna last that much longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really something that you could. Because I was talking to I think it was Smack, and it was like, man, if I could be in two places at once, right?
Yeah, it was Smack.
It was that part, but also about genuinely enjoying what the fuck you do, so that when you don't want to do it, and when it fucking sucks, and when you're doing it for low pay, and when you're doing it in a shitty neighborhood, when you have to go do all the shit that sucks, you better have some type of love to push you through. Yeah. To get you through it, so that you can continue to fucking operate.
Yep.
If you don't love it, even when it's fucking tough, well, you're never gonna love it. But if you don't find a way to fucking enjoy it, if it's not something that you actually enjoy, you won't make it through those hard points.
Yep.
I'm struggling to convey what I'm trying to say.
No, I 100% get what you're saying. In my world, I deal with a lot of dope rappers, but I deal with a lot of whack ones.
Stale rappers.
And fucking editing a song, you have to hear that song a million fucking times.
Yep.
And a whack song is nothing worse. That I just want to quit and give the money back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I love it. And, but.
Are you directing these videos too?
Yeah, I try. I try, but Buffalo, like I said, they're behind on everything. And they just want to, just in general, and this is no shot at nobody, but for the most fucking part, they want to stand on the corner of their fucking street, which they've already shot 20 music videos on, and that's it.
Same.
Yeah.
My boy is in shout out to Serious Media, my boy Rick. He's into the same stuff, and definitely when he first started out, he was doing a lot of rap videos, and he said, boy, nothing pissed me off than when all these young boys got ARs and Glocks, and they're just pointing them at me, and I'm like,
you know how many guns I've had fucking pointed at me,
because you're the camera, so they're pointing them at the lasers and all, and it's like
hundreds.
Can you not do this?
Hundreds, bro. Real guns.
It's something people don't think about.
Nah, they watch toy guns for purposes.
And right. And I've been in real shootouts. I've been in 3 shootouts. 2 of them with my wife.
3 too many.
Just being a camera guy, for rappers. I've been in 3 real shootouts, like bullets fucking flying in Buffalo. Like,
that's wild.
Yeah, bro. And then the one time, me and my wife finally got back to the vehicle, skirted out of there, and on the way back, the artist calls me, yo, where the fuck you go? I said, what are you talking about? It's a dub, bro. I'm
talking about that crime scene over there?
Right. And then he's talking about, I know where you live. You better come back and shoot. Sucking my dick, bro. So you crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's that Buffalo
what the
shit,
fuck?
Bro. Yeah.
I got a boy down here. They were shooting a video in front of Finger Licking. Classic spot. And he's just the guy that rents out the vehicles. And they were like, hey, if you want, you could come watch this video, or maybe even be in it. Like, come be an extra. You know what I'm saying? Just come be part of the scene. It's your whips. So he's out there. Sure enough, some shit pops off. He gets wet up like 3 spots, and he don't got nothing to do with rap in that sense. He was just doing business really, and just by being on the scene, it's like, so it's chaos, and people don't realize that to get this footage, to get these clips, to get these moments, sometimes you got to go to the dirty of the dirty.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always and it's not always the dirty of the dirty. Sometimes you're in the high rise, of course, too. You know, security is on site, but
I'm over it, bro. I'm over it. I'm burnt out from it, and I'm jaded, and I'm at a point where I put my 10,000 hours in a long time ago. So that's why I'm.
Now is when it's going to start paying off, dog. Yeah. Now is when it's going to start paying off.
So then we have the Danza Project.
Dun, dun, dun.
We really do. And a lot of the people that are watching us right now might be new. At 10,000 followers, 10,000 subscribers, I should say, I'm grateful for each and every one of you.
It's so crazy.
And I really
a huge milestone.
I really want to tell everybody who we are. You get a little glimpse of us in each episode, but when you tune into the Danza Project, you only know so much. This is kind of that intro to tell you what we're truly about. There's a lot of drama that goes on in any industry, We want to be a part of every industry. We want to do interviews with the artists. We want to do interviews with the music artists, the actors, the actresses, the fighters, the entrepreneurs, everything. Everyone.
Your shit, boy.
And it's important that you understand that when we bring people into a room, we're introducing them almost as family. We're sitting down, having a drink with them, having a conversation with them, and getting to know the real them. We're not interested in all the clickbait, although obviously those situations that happen in our interviews that we're posting up for people that get us the money, that get us the views, it works for us, as it works for anybody in any industry. What we want to do is something different. We want to have organic conversations. We want you to get to know the real nitty-gritty of this individual that we have up here every single time. The Danza Project is unlike any other podcast. We're not sitting here to kind of ruffle their feathers and to make them feel unwelcome. We want everybody to walk out with an experience saying, you know, like, this is the best podcast, the best conversation. These are some cool dudes that I met today. And that's been happening. Every time we end a podcast, the conversation shifts. It's, you know, take my number down. Yeah. Let's link up.
What y'all doing tonight?
Exactly. And all these things are happening, and that's who we are. We want to bring you guys into the room of two fans sitting here having a conversation with somebody, not two people grilling somebody, not two people putting somebody in a hot seat. We want everybody to learn from square one. You know, what about this about you, and this about you, and this about you? There are controversies that happen in each individual's lives. That's not what we want to try to pull out of them. Let them feel safe here. Let them feel welcome. Let them feel like they can open up and be themselves. And that's what's most important here. So if you're watching us today, if you're watching us tomorrow, or whenever you get an opportunity to watch these clips, just understand that some of the questions that you might want to ask, or that you're worried about this person, is not what fascinates us. And we're going to do what fascinates us. This is the Danza Project, and this is something different. Wow. So it's something that I really wanted to let the people know, because, you know, there's all these people subscribing to us now. Yeah. And I read the comments. I'm always going to be in the comments.
You're in it hard. Yeah. As soon as he wakes up in the morning, I come out, this motherfucker, don't matter what time. He's like, I didn't even go to bed yet. Yeah. You see this shit? He on it. And
it's how it works. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to have all these subscribers and the people that follow
10,000.
And a lot of them are going to hate me.
That's huge.
I'm somebody that's very easy to hate. That's okay. You know what I mean? Those haters bring out the real soldiers, the real fans.
Well, haters boost algorithms. So
absolutely.
They're truly needed and appreciated. But as much as what you say about they're going to hate you, and I think you're right for the most part, but over time, I think people are gonna come and they're gonna feel you, bro.
I just don't want to get locked up like Andrew Tate all the time.
Right.
That's it. Leave me out of it.
Well, you just don't do what he does.
Yeah.
Right. Allegedly.
Right. Yeah. I was about to say allegedly. Don't throw him out there on the box like that.
No, but I think
even though he was throwing the box out like that, allegedly.
Yeah.
I think Nova hit it on the fucking head, man. I think he really called it, because you do have an abrasive personality, and that's just what makes you who you are, coming from where you come from, going through what you've gone through, right? Nobody can really take that away from you, but that's just how you start out. And then people start to understand your way of thinking.
Yeah, they're like, I fuck with this dude.
And then, it's also like, I'd rather him be a friend of mine than be on the opposite end of that wrath too, right? It's like make friends with the bad guy in the room, because
talk about it
at the end of the day, or like this is a bad joke, but when people are like, make friends with the weird kid, because if he comes here and starts acting crazy, he's going,
it's me. Time out. Let me get behind the class real quick.
You know, but it's kind of like that. But I don't think it's a fear thing. Even though you are abrasive just by nature, I don't think it's something that people can't learn to love. And the people that are going to love you are going to be hardcore fucking fans. They're going to be like, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Y'all don't know this nigga. This nigga talks his shit every time to everybody 100%. In any room, in any fucking moment, drunk, high, or sober. Danza is Danza. You get what you fucking get.
That's what's going to happen.
And people are going to actually rock with you, and it's already happening. People are in the comments saying, nah. Danza's a real one. Y'all were in here acting real crazy before he came in here. You know, so
Bow! I'm here, motherfucker. Hey, with that big ass cheese smile, and I'm the fucking boss. That's Tony Danza right there. You feel me?
boom. Back to the dynamic. I was thinking about this earlier. It's if you ever think the greatest dynamic, one of the goated dynamics, I should say, is the Breakfast Club. Because you got to look how the table's set up. It's set up in a triangle basically.
Yeah.
And you got Envy on one side, you got Charlemagne on one side, you got Angela Yee in the other, and then the artist is over there. And these three people are asking this person what's going on. These are the hosts. That's the guest. You got Charlemagne, who's gonna be abrasive. He's gonna ruffle some feathers. He's gonna say some inconvenient shit to you. You got Envy, who's gonna walk that line a little bit, and you got Angela Yee, who's also gonna be like, all right, well, relax, but you know, we also want to. They're gonna hit you. They're gonna hit you from all types of angles, and we do that very well. Unfortunately, I think I fall on the side of Angela Yee, but no disrespect to Angela.
Nah,
Yee.
you would be Envy.
We both play Envy.
You're more.
Okay,
You're more Envy.
But you're not.
He's
just
more Charlemagne.
But he's not just Charlemagne.
No, I know. But if you had to pick, if you had to tie, you're Envy. You're Charlemagne.
Yeah. I would say so. And I don't mind being compared to people either too. I'm a fan.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know, I think that when we started this podcast, that was something that I really vocalized. Like, if I have an interview with them and I'm asking them all these in-depth questions about stuff that is active and currently going on, for the people that are getting to know them, it's hard to get to know them. I listened to Joe Budden coming up. It's one of my favorite artists.
I love Budden.
Nobody that I let listen to Budden's music that didn't know who Budden was got rocked with his music. It was always like, it's also like, always like, oh, well, I don't, what he keeps saying these names in there and talking about these situations and they don't know.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I get it. Like, his music is super personal unless you know who Tahiri is. There's no way you're really going to understand what the fuck he's talking about because he's like, and I'm right back to Tahiri. Now I'm sitting on her couch, not discussing shit, staring at the fattest ass, not rubbing it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so you don't know what he's talking about. So for you, it's like, this is whack. I want to hear these bars come out. You know what I mean? And, okay, so the artists that people love the most are, you know, the people that are just, it's a new bar every single time. But the people that love them have gotten to know from the beginning what the story was. So you ended up listening to them. You went back to the beginning of what they did. You became a fan of them. What we're doing here at the Danza Project is bringing people back to the beginning.
Right.
You know, like now you got a real opportunity to be a fan of this person. So when you hear the music and you hear the bars, oh, that's why he's doing this. Like when we sat down with Smack, a lot of the shit that occurred and the shit that he spoke about, I was like, oh, that's fire. You know, now I get why you did this and why this was here and why this name came up. That makes sense.
And it allowed for people to like him more.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So, like, because you get that backstory. Like I said, like,
but the people that hate him hated him more.
Oh my God, I know.
Oh shit.
The
But
battle
the
rap
views
fans
at that
is
thing,
crazy.
the battle rap fans are
That
like,
interview is legendary, fucking legendary.
if you take a second as a battle rap fan to get outside of yourself for a second, it's not. I have to say it. You don't know what's going on just because you watch a lot of battles,
Right.
or just because you've seen somebody's contract. You don't know shit. You know how many times an employee of mine is, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, and I'm like, damn, I tried everything for this individual, but I can't satisfy every one of your needs. But don't forget that I also did this. I did this. I did this for you. I did that for you. I took care of this situation for you. Yep. When you needed that loan, I provided that for you. When you needed a new car, I got you a car to be able to drive. But now all of a sudden I'm a dickhead that doesn't pay you enough. What about that $14,000 you owe me? You know what I mean? Like that I never said you owed me because I did that out of the kindness of my heart. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
But it's what happens. It's how everything works. Everybody forgets. You know what I mean?
No,
And I'm
not everybody.
I'm the opposite. Yeah, I'm
not like that.
I always remember.
Yeah,
and I
me
also,
too.
with always remembering, I understand that sometimes people are going through shit and they treat you maybe a little bit poorly sometimes and they don't intend to.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know how many times I've gotten into fist fights with a lot of the people that are my best homies.
Yeah.
That I trust the most. And I think I do because I know that they're going to stand by their word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know that time that we went through that, we were supposed to go through that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You were going through something. I was going through something. We butt heads. And then we ended up scrapping about it. And, you know, people go through their times and their own personal life. And it's always, you're never going to have a relationship in your life where you both see eye to eye all the time. If you don't have those, the true testing time and the true growth comes when two individuals are at odds and they find a way to navigate through it.
Yep.
Talk about it.
That's the power in any dynamic. Your most intimate relationship is the person that you sleep in the bed with. If you're not arguing with that person, you don't love that person.
Yeah.
Because you two are both at the same time battling growth, going through the hard times together. And there's two different sides to the story. And you have to do your best to understand the other side. Doesn't mean that other person is remotely right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if they can't get that out,
right,
you're stuck.
Right.
And if you stay stuck, there's no growth. And I feel like what we do here and what I do in most aspects of my life is I keep finding ways to grow. You know, not everybody has seen $1 million. You know, not everybody has seen success in business. And, you know, it's supposed to go this way. It should look this way. It should be that way. But it can only get that way if you see it through.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people, they see, in like, especially in relationships and in intimate relationships, it's like, it's always like, it's, you know how many times people tell me like, oh, I'm done with her for good. This is it. I'm never going to talk to her again. And I always say to them, the first thing I say to them, don't post anything about that.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Don't you dare, because you're going to say something and it's going to look real
That's
bad
worse.
because you'll be back with her tomorrow.
Well,
no,
you know,
she told me it was done and she moved out and it's all over and I'm never going to talk to her again. It's like, okay, well, I mean, she might be moving back in right now. Are you sure she's not at your door?
Right.
Well, let me talk to her real quick. Oh, so she is at your door. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So, you know, it's just that's the way that shit goes. And, you know, some people do burn the bridges that way and they regret it like a motherfucker a lot of the times. No, it doesn't mean that you can't. There's not going to be situations where you absolutely have to cut people off in your life. That's why we're here today.
Right.
You know what I mean? If everything went perfect, then we won't be in the same room together right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's life. Welcome to the Danza Project. Welcome to the dark side. And this is what I want to do. I want to be able to sit in a room and talk about shit like this. And this is how, when we're sitting down with a multi-millionaire artist,
Yeah.
and they're sitting here talking, we're getting this stuff out of them. You never knew that this person was going through this in his personal life.
Right.
You know, but he felt comfortable in here telling me and Chris the most intimate story of his life and how he's battling through it and getting through it. And that is content. Now, that might not be something that gets you 10 million views.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
But I tell you what it does do. Just like my music. I could go back and watch that clip or listen to that song at any given moment, and I could relive that moment, how I felt, what I was going through.
Yeah.
Because I could hear it, because I'm speaking about it. I'm not sitting here faking it.
Right.
If I'm having a rough day, people could feel that shit. There's times where I've sat in here and I've had some rough days. And I'd be getting nervous. I told Landon this the other day. I'm like, yo, we were having this show. I was going through this, and that. And I felt like I felt like the mic could hear my heart beating. Because it was so loud that I heard it that I was like,
wow.
you slide the mic back. But it happens. We all go through this shit.
Right,
Just because you see me on here and I'm having this conversation doesn't mean I'm battling a major demon right now.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm excited about interviewing Adrian Broner tomorrow.
Yeah.
When he was
I can't wait to see to hear what shit he talks.
Yeah, he's gonna talk shit. When he was in his post-fight conference after his win that he just got, shout out to him. He said, you know, I'm getting through all this, and I'm grateful to be up here, enjoying this victory, but I'm still battling demons in real life.
Yeah,
you know, like, and people just don't care.
Well, when you're a celebrity, a lot of people just view you not even as a human. As
Too real for battle rap. What's goody? I sent the link out. What's good, y'all? Salute to y'all and what y'all do as well. Y'all had me going up to your podcast, getting all hype and shit. And y'all ended up having a dope podcast. Now I'm watching your shit to catch up on all the latest battle rap news.
Yeah, I got hit to them now because of that.
Yeah, I'm learning about a lot of situations through them. So when I have some of these battle raps up here, I got some content for them.
Yeah, but yeah, no, you know, people view celebrities as not even human. You know what I mean? And it's like, man,
no, you're right.
It's just
they deal with the most obscene type of depression.
Yeah,
because they can't show it.
Bro, it's like I mentioned earlier, and I bring this up a lot just in my life, like Robin Williams, because I battle with depression, and it gets real bad, and some people look at me or my life and they be like, "What are you?" You know what I mean? Like, first of all, I come from nothing. I come from a hard life, just like we all do. But Robin Williams, the most loved man in the world, killed himself because he did not feel loved. You know what I mean? Like, that's
the one that made everyone laugh.
The one that made everyone laugh, bro. Like, that was so profound to me when that happened. And it's just, it humanized him. And it humanized every other celebrity for me at that point.
Word.
You know, and I'm just like, wow. Like, well, you know, we see you in movies, or we see the rapper doing this or that, and we idolize it, but we don't realize these are humans. These are people human too, man. And not only are they dealing with the same shit that we deal with, but like you said, the most obscene of shit
on the main stage.
When you got all that money, your best friends, your family fucking turn on you. They do weird shit. Money makes people do weird shit. The fans, the everything. You know what I mean? Like,
I always wondered about, you know, what it must be like, because some days you don't want to take that picture.
Yeah.
Some days you just want to catch your flight and be gone.
And then you say no, and then it's
and now you're a piece
everywhere.
Of shit. And, or, you know, worse, you go to take out your trash and TMZ catches you in your fucking boxers, and now you gotta, you know, whatever,
some dirty ass boxers on. You're
now
viral for having dirty ass boxers.
Now you're a fucking meme, and people use you as a soundbite for TikTok or whatever the fuck. Like,
yeah.
It's not just that, but it's dealing with everything in front of everybody too. You're not allowed to have a bad day.
It's a weird world we live in today, man.
Yeah.
You know, the people that are usually the funniest, because I got a different take on it, are the self-proclaimed fat guy, the fat girl, the ugly person, the ones that know how to laugh at their pain. And a lot of times when I meet people who are hilarious at all times, I think that, like, I wonder if they're making people laugh.
They got deep
to laugh at themselves, to make other people avoid speaking about the things that they got tired of hearing. Well, look at that fat fuck. You know, you usually really do see a lot of fat people are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And that's a way to, like, deflect.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, and I look at a lot of people that are making people laugh all the time, and I wonder to myself, like, did they become funny from going through certain situations? You know what I mean? Like, you'd be surprised if you really get to the nitty-gritty of how people became to be.
Yeah.
You know, like why I had to walk with my chest high, you know what I mean, with my head held high in the areas I was always a little bastard. I'm still a smaller dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, in from Buffalo, like, you always had to scrap and shit like that. Like, I used to hate that shit. I was the kid that used to get like the what do you call it? The butterflies in my stomach every time because I didn't want to fight somebody, but they're like, yo, you gotta fight this person after school. It's like, why do I gotta fight? Well, they heard you were tough, and I'm like, fuck.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, first off, my mom's gonna beat my ass more than anybody that could beat my ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do this, but you go through that and you change who you are a little bit to become something that you were forced into, a life that you were forced into. I see that with a lot of jokers. So it's not like when I saw that Robin Williams committed suicide, I was more or less like, damn, I wonder what it was exactly.
Well,
that was his.
Right. Me too. And I just recently seen, I don't know if it was like Shia LaBeouf or somebody that was on set with him for a movie, and he's like, I was like 12 years old, and this was however 15 years ago or something, and he's like, and I ran in, so Robin Williams, he had his trailer, and when they're in between scenes, he would do his. He would be doing acting, and then he would go to his room, and everyone knew not to fuck with Robin or bother him. And he would always be by himself. And the kid actor ran in one day, and just being a kid, ran into his trailer, and Robin was in there with his head down, like just
face palm, like
and he told the kid, I forget exactly how he said it, but it was he was a cocaine addict for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, and that he stopped doing cocaine, and it changed something in his brain.
He was. I think I saw the clip recently, and he was like basically saying that Robin was frustrated because now he has to be sober, and he was like, now I have to go through life, and deal with this pain, and he was just saying that it's too much. This is too much for me. It's too much. Like, imagine having to be the funny guy when you don't feel like being the funny guy.
like you have to be.
You know what I'm saying? Like Dance Monkey. It's like, well, I don't fucking feel like doing the show today. You know what I mean? Like, you still got to show up and be the guy. And people look to you to be the funny guy that you are in Mrs. Doubtfire and Flubber and all these funny movies and all these roles that he portrayed. And when you're not that, people get disappointed with you.
Yeah.
Now imagine having to face disappointment because because you're being yourself or you're being human. It's like,
and with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line on top of that. Yeah. I couldn't imagine.
I mean, it's also a known fact that comedians are easily some of the most tormented people, but just famous people in general, when you see them and it's anything less than what you expected, it is a letdown. Like, as a fan, you do get let down, but it's not really fair for you to have those expectations of people in their everyday life. Like I said, like, I just came here to get a smoothie, big dog. I didn't come here to do a set.
Right.
I'm not doing a meet and greet right now, man. I'm with my family.
Right.
If you could respect that, that'd be great. Like, there's a video, a famous viral video of Justin Bieber. It's paparazzi waiting in front of his crib, and he's just getting home, and there's fans in front. And he walks, and he's going to walk past him, and he stops, and he comes out, and he's like, it really bothers me that you guys are here. Like, I'm just here. I'm just trying to live my life, and I love you, but please don't stand in front of my house like this no more. And you look at him, and he meant that shit. Yeah. His fans are like, oh, my God, JB, sign this for me. And he was like, listen, don't do this.
Right.
Stop doing this. I'm not working right now. Stop doing this. Right. Like, for real. And he meant every fucking word, man.
And it's my fear. Like, when I tried to catch you the other night when you had J.R. Ryder and Fred Money. Great show. The good thing is you can still watch it. It's up there, and it was a phenomenal show. Fred Money is...
But I saw it today.
And they dropped an exclusive freestyle.
Yeah.
Exclusive Danza Project freestyle.
Fire.
Fred Money is home team now. I don't know if you saw the bio, but Fred Money is now officially a member of the Danza Project. And we're here with another official member of the Danza Project, my man NovaVision 716. So when I was doing music young, like anybody else, I'm like, I'm about to be famous. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to make it. My fear, the thing that scared me the most always was, I want the money. I don't want to be famous. And now I'm in a position here where I'm starting to become, I'm like a G-list celebrity. I don't want to say D. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm not known everywhere, but when people do walk up to me and talk to me right now, I'm like, oh, that's dope that they know me. It's cool. But I do get nervous. Like, sometimes I don't want to even say anything. Right. You know, I got a call on FaceTime the other day because somebody asked me about podcasting. And I'm like, who is this? But I answered. And it's somebody like, oh, I'm like, who is this? And he's like, who is this? I'm like, I don't know. You're texting me, bro. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, it's you. And I'm like, who? And he's like, who is this again? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Waiting for you to say Danza.
And I said, yeah, when I said Danza, he was like, oh, Danza, okay, you gave me your number, da-da-da-da. And he starts talking to me, but at that moment was my son's time.
Yeah.
And you know how people just get to having the conversation before you're even like ready to tell him, yo, I'm with my son, da-da-da-da. And he starts talking, and my son's screaming in the phone. And he's trying to, my son loves talking to, you know, my siblings and so my mom and stuff. So he thinks, so he's like trying to look into the phone, and I'm like, yo, could you, do you mind if you could just shoot me a text? You know? Right. And I felt real uncomfortable, and I'm like, man, I would really, when the day it happens, which it's coming, okay? The day it happens when we are mainstream and I go to walk somewhere and they're like, Danza, 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 Danza. I'm not going to really feel comfortable with it. And it's not that I'm going to shake people up. And now you're talking about somebody that we're saying here, I got that abrasive personality. I'm in your face. So if somebody comes up to me and I'm not in the mood at that moment, they're going to catch that silence. Yo, chill the fuck out. Go back in your car. I appreciate you, but you're doing a little too much right now. Right. You know what I mean? Oh, what a fucking dickhead. I'm just going to be real about who I am. Just leave me the fuck alone right now. I'm not in the mood. Right. You know what I mean? Because, yo, a lot of the times people aren't in the mood. And if you don't say that out loud, whether they hate you or love you, you're going to lose a piece of yourself. And that little piece of yourself that you might lose might be the difference of you wanting to be alive or wanting to be gone. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, it's okay. If you hate me, you hate me. Cool. Right. I'm okay with that. But I'd rather be me all the way and you hate me than to be a compromised version of myself to make you love me and me hate myself. You know what I mean? And that's a problem with fame. And that's another reason why Chris and I don't sit here and like, oh, well, we're going to just fucking press them. We're going to put pressure. Oh, you asked Conceited about Jackie O and DC Young Fly. Well, why couldn't you ask Smack? Well, I felt like in that situation when I was talking to Conceited, he's got a friend that's going through it, and he wanted to offer a little bit of insight. You know what I mean? He was able to sit there in front of the world and tell his story and say, hey, look, DC is fine. And he ain't tripping over it. He ain't tripping over the situation that occurred, and I'm proud the way he's handling himself. That was dope to have that type of support on there. And also another thing that happens with Chris and I, we're not walking up starstruck to people. When we're out with these artists and we're out and having drinks with them, guess what we're not doing? Yo, let's take a picture. Yeah. Yo, come here. Like, come on, bro. Take a video. I can't do that. You know how many times I've been in the rooms with some pretty high profile celebrities where I'm like, I don't want to take a picture. It's only when somebody's like, yo, hop in this picture that I do it. Like when I went to the battle rap event, Murder Mook, standing right behind Murder Mook. He invited me to the battle rap event. He's battling Big K. Now there's all sorts of fucking celebrities there and high profile battle rappers. And I didn't take pictures because I'm sitting there like, I'll see you when I see you. I don't want to, and I let them all know, like, I don't want to do all that corny shit. Like, I want you to enjoy yourself. I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to sit here and stop the room to be like, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. Hey, can I take a picture? I did it when I was younger. Right, you know what I mean? Oh my God, there's Jim Kelly. I can't wait to take a, hey, Jim, can I take a picture? But now I feel like as a grown man, it's a weird thing. And I get it. There's super fans, and I'm not knocking anybody for doing it. It's just not my MO. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's also not our MO to sit there and grill somebody so we could be, oh, yo, everybody's going to be like, yo, you can't believe you did this, da, da, da. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm okay. And maybe because of that, we'll never be the biggest podcast in the world. But I'm totally okay with it.
Nah, you tripping, I mean? Bro. We are going to be the biggest podcast in the world.
Hello.
I like that. Trust.
That's when Landon's supposed to go. Yeah. We need to clean that soundboard up too to make sure we get all the right sounds. I enjoy your interviewing skills. You put me on, you was cool, just saying what's up. It'd be like that too. I'd be wanting to say a word, but the word disappear and make me say a next word. Oh yeah, we could see it though usually. But I appreciate you. What is it? Farratason. I don't know how to say it. Farrata son, whatever it is. I appreciate you, my guy. And that's another thing that people are gonna come up. Oh, you said my name wrong, motherfucker, piece of shit. I tell you what though, I haven't gotten a haircut. Sheesh. In over a month. I need it. Like the first time in my life.
Let's go get haircuts tomorrow.
I can't because I told you.
Oh yeah, you're stuck on that guy. Well,
no, it's a female
or the girl.
Pause, by the way. I don't wanna be
stuck on that guy.
No, my barber, she lives in Puerto Rico and she's having a granddaughter. Salute to her. And she only comes here when she comes here. Usually it's like every other week, but lately she's been out there and doing her own thing. Yeah. So I just wait.
When's she coming back?
This weekend, Sunday.
Damn.
Yep. I'm so happy for when she comes here. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I miss you so much.
It's $100 tip.
Yeah. I already do that.
I'm already done.
Nova trying to get that Miami cut, man.
Yeah, I'll take you to get a cut, though.
I need a cut.
I'll take you to get a cut.
And I just dyed my hair yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And fucked up.
Oh.
Yeah, my shit's like,
let's see this.
No, hell no, bro.
Take the camera off of him.
It ain't. I'll show you after.
No, here, the camera's off. Let's see.
No, fuck that. I ain't stupid.
It isn't. You can look behind it. Ain't there?
No, I'll show you after.
Jesus Christ.
No, but,
I know about cameras.
I'm Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So won't the real.
So I gotta figure out. I gotta get some product that like takes the brass out or something like that. Yeah, I don't know nothing about it, so I don't know. Yeah, strip it. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I always wanted to dye my hair. I just don't know what I would dye it.
I was gonna do it one time to be funny.
I just did it like for the same thing. I was just like,
fuck it.
I'm just gonna do it. Yeah. And then I'm like, my wife's like, yo, what the fuck?
What is that? Like, babe.
Yeah, nah.
I'm still rocking
I'll be thinking
this.
about cutting my beard off.
Oh my God.
Going to walk up to my son.
Bro, you know what I mean?
Because you see all those videos that go viral. They're like, whoa, who is that? I really want to do that.
My dad.
But also, the thing with getting rid of your beard, you to yourself and to other people, you look real fugly until they get used to it. Yeah, because it's such a like
it becomes
I'm a handsome guy, you know what I mean? Like if I cut my beard off, I'm still gonna look good, but you got to go through the ugly days because people are gonna be like, whoa. Your chin shrunk. You know what I mean? It looks like looks like you have a square face.
Well, only the people that know.
And then but then it takes like a couple months, and then you got the
you just become.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, okay, it's normal again. Yeah. But it's not even a beard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's
also funny because it depends how people met you too. So somebody who meets you without a beard and be like, what do you mean? The guy always looked like this. Like, oh brother, that's just how you met me. Or vice versa. Like I met you with a beard. It's weird seeing you without it. Or
I kept this little patch before and a mustache, and I look like a straight up cop. You know what I mean? And I was mad as hell too. I went to take a picture of myself to see it. You know, like maybe it's not so bad. And then the next picture I took myself, I had a cop hat with the sunglasses on, and I'm like. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
the aviator glasses.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe I did this to myself. Shit. And I'd be sitting there, like, we went to a Bills game like 2 years ago in Miami, or not even, and my barber misunderstood. Oh. I told her to.
That's him trying to be nice.
No, she
did because she speaks Spanish only, and I'm not, especially at that time, I wasn't really that well at speaking Spanish, so. The only reason I know how to speak Spanish a lot better now is because my girl and I argue a lot, and I have to talk to her mom, and her mom doesn't speak any English at all. So I have to be, mira, es que tu hija está haciendo eso cosa. You know what I mean? Like I have to go in it, so I had to learn real quick.
That's how my girl grandma is.
Yeah. So you have to learn. You have to get it together. And I told her like, corta mi barba, and she's like, oh okay. And I'm like, aquí, and she's like, and I felt it. And you know how like you don't want to say anything in the moment. I'm just sitting there like she's probably gonna make it look fire, so chill out. Woo! When that shit was done, I was like, oh, this doesn't look good at all.
What
I mean? It's just that it was just hair, and there was no length to it, so it was like this. You know what I mean? I was looking like this in there, and I'm like, damn, I look like a chipmunk. Really? I didn't know I looked like a chipmunk. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I don't want to go home. I'll go home in 3 weeks when it's all grown out again. You know what I mean? And we went out to the Bills game, and shout out Kelvin. Kelvin came to the crib because we rode out to the
hardcore
stadium
Bills
together,
fan. That dude.
And he walks in the kitchen and he's like, you know, because Kelvin's a fucking personality. You know what I mean? So he's just like,
You good?
and I'm like, looks weird, right? He's like, no, it looks good. Nah, it looks weird. He's like, I ain't gonna lie. He's like your face shrunk. I was like, it did. Piece of shit. I'm not going to the Bills game now. Just take a couple more shots. You know what I mean?
Your face shrunk.
Shit, that's like
It
me.
did.
That's like me with the fucking man bun. Some people are like, they don't recognize me without it type shit.
It did look different though.
I'm
But
sure.
it does.
I'm sure.
It's,
And then
it's a different look.
I came back and people are like, damn, I missed the hair. I'm like, what? No. what?
Yeah, because that's what ends up happening is just like they'll miss it, and then you're without it for so long, and you grow your hair out. They're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, but whatever.
100%.
I don't want my face to shrink again though. That's
You gotta
that's a
switch
problem.
up.
I was nervous.
Gotta switch up the flow.
I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna get no bitches now.
Shit, when I met Stax had hair like 5 feet of hair, like legit, and he keep it all in a bun.
Oh wow.
And now he's like, you're a piece of shit. You know that? This is like years later. I'm like, wow, what are you talking about? He's like, you never told me I look like shit with all that hair, man. Nobody told me that. I was like, I wasn't gonna step on your swag.
Right,
man.
right.
Like,
That's
dude,
your style.
rock out, my
and
nigga.
and dudes with long hair normally like they're like protective about their hair.
Oh, you gotta be.
You know what I mean? Like they're like you don't want to be like, yo, bro, you should cut that.
Yeah,
Like, what are you talking
they
about?
try to hear
In
that.
5 years,
You just
bro.
mad.
You know what's funny about it actually that I just thought about? When I cut my hair that short, it was COVID times. So
you were
that's
straight.
the only time I liked wearing the mask.
That's
Yeah, I was like, the masks are good.
That's when I grew my hair out. I was like, ugly phase, we straight. We at the crib.
Right, right.
We good.
Yeah.
I think it's important to reinvent yourself, though, man. Give
Yeah.
yourself that fresh look. Fuck it. Go get that tattoo. Go dye your hair. Go whatever the fuck it is. Try on those fucking skinny jeans. Whatever, dog. Like, whatever.
Right.
Switch the shit up, man.
Yeah.
And see how you feel. Like,
And tattoos
Fuck it.
could be a real regret sometimes.
not for me. I refuse.
I
refuse.
I've been getting tattooed since I was 15,
Word.
and I have a lot of shitty tattoos, but I love them all.
Word.
Well, actually, there's one that I'm just like, yo, what the fuck?
what is it?
Piece of shit
It's
tattoo.
it's supposed to be like an angel. The guy is fucking destroyed it. It's the ugliest fucking thing ever. So
Thanks.
I am. Oh shit, my foot. My
You
bad.
get-
See, I told you I get comfortable in this motherfucker. That's ends up happening.
It's good.
I like. What the fuck was I just about to say? But also my tattoos, I got them redone, so I don't hate them anymore.
yeah, I gotta get.
I liked it when I first got them. Like, whoa, it's such a cool tattoo. And then after a while, I was like, this shit looks terrible.
I got my first tattoo when I was 15 in jail
Oh, shit.
with like Indian ink and a pen,
Oh,
and
man.
one needle
Yeah.
at a time.
Kick and poke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you get them young, that's kind of expected. I think everybody has a couple tattoos that they regret.
Yeah, but like still, like I don't regret none of those because there's stories and there's phases of my life.
Yeah.
I just regret that one because it's just so badly done. You know,
Yeah.
like
That's the thing. It's similar to getting a haircut, although permanent. You don't know how it's going to look until it's done.
yeah,
So sometimes you peek over and you're like, ugh, I'm going to let him finish before I even say something.
right.
I remember I went to go get a tat. I wanted to get 2 birds right here. And I scheduled the appointment, did the consultation, showed him what I sent him a bunch of references. He's like, yeah, but I could do that for sure. And he's done a couple other pieces, so I trusted his work. But when I got there, he was talking to me. He's like, I'm going to be honest, birds are weird because, first of all, you're getting 2, so they want to be symmetrical. He's like, the beaks are always hard to do, and when you do the eyes, it's always disoriented, and then the feet, he's like, it's kind of, and so when he's talking to me, I'm like, you don't sound like you really want to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this shit is permanent. And so the way he was talking to me, I was like, listen, honestly, you don't sound too motivated to do this. Let's do something that you want to do.
Right.
When I work with a tattoo artist, I want it to be a collaboration. I want you to be invested.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. I want you to want to do it. I don't want you to do nothing you don't want to do.
Right.
I'll pick something else off the wall if I got to. Like,
Right.
Because if you're sitting here like, I'm just going to do it just to do it, you're not going to put your heart into it. This is permanent, my guy. I got to go to the fucking grave with this. So let's do something you want to do, dog.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I didn't get the birds. So
What'd you get?
I ended up adding to this little piece right here. So I have
Oh,
this.
that's fire.
And then
Okay, Rocky Maivia.
just added that.
You see me here? I look like I belonged in Israel. It's me and my brother.
Yeah, you definitely do. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's me and my brother right there.
Are you guys twins?
Yep. There's another dad's in the building.
Wait, is this real?
Yeah.
Let me see what.
You ever seen this?
No. Shut the fuck up.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not real.
You never see my brother?
Not in the same fucking shirt.
Bro.
No,
That was on purpose that we did that.
I know what's going on.
Yeah. It was one of those like
What is
photos
going
that
on?
you
He
scan
said,
the
"Wait,
room.
what?"
It was one of the photos that you scan the room and I
panorama.
walked out of one.
Oh,
And
you
walked
fucking.
into the other.
That's why I'm like, bro.
It came out
Dude's
clean,
got a-
though.
yeah.
He said, that's my brother. I'm like, bro, that's literally you. Like,
You do got the Israeli
So
swag,
now-
though.
yeah, you definitely.
Because I was getting my hair cut over there. My barber was fire out there too. Bunch of dope shit.
Oh, they're nice with it.
But yeah, man, I appreciate all the fans that came through to watch today.
Yeah.
I know y'all were waiting for us to have Jay Mills up here today. Jay Mills will be back. Jay Mills, stop missing those flights, man.
Jay Mills.
Flights.
You know what I
Jay
mean?
Mills is the second time, my guy. I hope I don't have nothing to do with it because
Fourth.
both times. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm only responsible for two of them. Then. 2 times I came out here, you were supposed to be here and you weren't. So
We're going to get it right.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
we-
Hey,
we-
again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is Danza.
Wow. Kris, Kato, keep killing them. Your choice. We here.
And shout out to my guy NovaVision.
Big Nova in the building.
Shout out my guy Landon.
Big Landon.
Shout out Fred.
Big Fred.
Shout out fucking Mateo made it.
Let's go.